We're back. Listen, thank everyone for tuning in. We have taken a little bit of a break, but it's been enough stuff in between. So I want to say, well, welcome to Tonya Burns and friends with Sheena Beckton.
What's
And
going
Sheena, how are you
on?
today?
I'm good. How are you?
I I don't know how I feel. I don't. I mean, I'm better today. I'm better today.
That's good.
So
That's good.
so how is your family doing?
Everybody's good. We lost air on Father's Day downstairs. We have recovered. AC man came and fixed it today, and we're back and rolling and cool again. Even though it was fine upstairs, but downstairs it was on it was on hell.
But
It
you
was
have
on
two
hell.
units though in your home though.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I got one, okay.
Mhm.
And I live in a closet, a little box. The college house over here. I don't know. They keep saying I live in Flushing.
Well, you know.
Okay. Listen, I would happily take that house back. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. But I got about 50 pair of shoes in my living room. My golf
That
club from
proves,
last summer.
yes, that proves that you live there full time.
That listen, this is the part where if they keep trying to label me that, um, that's cute. Everybody done been to my house. Everybody. And a city worker lives next door. So
Uh-huh.
I just find that fun. She lives in Flushing. Look, the Flushing house is really nice. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in the house that I bought my daughter, the college house. I got
Uh-huh.
peace over here all day long. It's peace.
Mhm.
It's peace. So, anyways, look, drop in wherever you are at. We appreciate each and every one of you. Kathleen Trouser, Big Boss, Patrick Jean is our moderator. Thank you. And to our producer for the evening, we have got Landon Hendricks with Hendricks
Landon.
Studios, located in the lovely downtown Flint, Michigan, on the bricks. So listen, I didn't see all of Sheena. You want to call out the names of everybody? Can you go down and
Let's see. We got several. Melissa. Hey, girl. Gutta Black from Dallas. What's going on, Jared? R. Murphy is chiming in from the 704, Charlotte. Tasha Lynn. Auntie M. Jasmine. Got your wine, girl. I got me adult apple juice, too. I got me a little adult apple juice. Gutter Black, we missed you too. Eddie Grace, 704. Y'all just about 8 minutes from me. Big Boss, Kathleen Trouser. Glad to see you too, honey. Stephanie. Tasha Lynn. Again, JC. What's up from Houston? And Shanetta Woods, my girl. Kawana. Hey. Hey, 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 honey. How y'all been? Did y'all have a good Father's Day? Was it good?
so listen, Reed
Everything like I thought.
Johnson, welcome.
Oh, Reed. Hey,
Um,
Reed. It's hot out here,
Reed
y'all.
Reed sends me a prayer every morning, every single morning, and I appreciate that. Hey, Clark. So listen,
Hey, Clack.
um, it was a hiatus, and look, I was going to try to ride the hiatus out to this weekend. So we are on the Flint Urban News Station every Tuesday. So we need y'all to click, like, share, and subscribe every Tuesday, 8 o'clock. I'm on here with Sheena Beckton, and our producer for this show is Landon Hendricks. So I do want to say, we're moving it up to get you out information. I did not want to come on, and I'm a look. I want to not do nothing, but it's too much going on.
Hmm.
Too much going on.
Can't keep up. Can't keep up.
No.
You can't keep
So,
up.
full disclosure, I just really started watching the videos from June 1st and June 2nd because it can just be it can be too much. And so, watching those, it really brings it right back to you. And we've had a lot going on. So we've had budget, and for those, hey Sherry Allen,
Hey,
hey
Sheena.
Jasmine M, hey staff. Um, I don't want, and I really came on because I want to give people information about the budget because I've listened to people saying, I don't want people to think that what they did was for nothing. It's never for nothing when you get involved, and I don't think people have an understanding because it was really hard that night. Literally, I think I mentally almost had to check out budget night. I'm like, Mr. Moore, you ain't got an answer to nothing. He didn't have one answer. So we're going to get into the budget a little later, but we're going to start out with the youth jobs because it's being portrayed when you have other council members saying, well, and other council members should be supporting these jobs, these youth jobs, and the mayor's going to forge forward. He's going to move forward. Okay, and so that's why, hey, Mrs. Gilchrist, hey, Breckenridge, Jared, when we talk about just moving forward, that's not how government works. So one of the things, the mayor proposed a $68 million spending budget. We took in $64 million. We had a $4.3 million deficit. We adopted the 25-year fiscal year 25 budget, but I don't think they got that. But we're going to get into that. I don't think they realized what we did yet, that unanimously, but we're going to get into that later. But where the money going to come from these jobs? So I'm going to look, I ain't got no wine, no nothing. So I'm going to sip my water on this one, y'all, because no one is saying we don't want to fund youth. Mm-hmm. Although the city of Flint should not be employing anybody because they can't manage to keep nobody, such as how many HR directors we didn't have, how many, we didn't have deputy fire chiefs too, and fire chiefs. DPW. And then we don't have no DPW director now. So the last thing, we are not an employment agency. And especially when the mayor can't keep people employed. His focus is all over the place. He want to do the rodeo. He want to dress up. He want to tear down buildings. He want to pretend like he picking up 8 days later after the storm. He cleaned up after the tornado or straight winds, whatever it was. He doing too much. His focus is all over the place.
Here he comes. Mm-hmm.
Right. So these youth jobs, they had the advertised having come to the Clio Road Center, which, by the way, we did not vote because we knew we had budget issues for the Clio Road Center. He decided to keep that open. And so when people say, well, he's just going to spend that money. Yeah, we have to wait till August, okay? And I'm not just going to keep wasting my time putting stuff on the flow, go up and no. And it really gets humiliating to some people who really wants things to constantly get rejected by the four. Right. They don't, it's difficult. Pastor Thompson been rejected so many times, that ain't funny. And then Liddell was so disrespectful.
Kevin. Well, Liddell, he came back.
Right. And she shouldn't be called Dr. Lewis. It should be, when she's in council, she is to be called Council Member Lewis. That's Robert's rules. Simple as that. No one member is above any other. It's just simple as that. Hey, JWC. Hey, Carson. So,
hey, JWC. Deborah Thornton Clark. Hey, lady.
Hey, Debbie. So when we look at this and what they're doing, the line is out the door, and it was just kind of weird how they were acting. Then you take shots at your colleagues, but that's okay. We now probably feel like we almost bulletproof. So they have these jobs. The question is, how are you going to pay for them? Mm-hmm. How are we going to pay for them? So Sheena, this is you. You got this now. I'm going to hand it over to you.
Let's go ahead and play the footage. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
That way. I got to do that way.
Let's go ahead and play that clip.
So, Landon, if you can play the clip.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to send 240-2272.
What happened?
I'd like to make a motion to send 240-2272 council.
Support.
There's a motion on the floor to send 240-227, supported by the councilwoman in the second ward. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead, Ms.
Thank you. I would like to call Ms. Lott up to the lectern.
Through the chair.
Yeah, through the chair.
Oh, I do apologize. You stay there. So through you, Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
to Ms. Lott. Thank you for the correction.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Can you speak in a microphone? Is her microphone on?
Is the green light on?
Oh, could please pause the time.
Let's start our time over again. Okay, can we start? Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Okay, again, thank you. I'm Angela Lotz, and I'm the Executive Director of Faith Foundation Resources, which is a non-for-profit in the Flint area that serves youth from the ages of 16 to 21 in job training, job readiness, and job placement.
You wear many hats. 'Cause I think I first met you. You were campaign manager for Cynthia Neely, so you wear many hats. And so,
Let me correct you on that. I actually volunteered on many campaigns during that time, but I wasn't no one's campaign manager.
Oh,
I actually walked for Miss Winfrey too with her father to get her on the ballot. So I'm just,
no, I support. I'm just saying that's when I had first met you when she had ran.
I'm an activist for democracy.
I support this program. That's just when I first met you. When I know her first year running.
Let me correct you on that. I actually volunteered on many campaigns during that time, but I wasn't no one's campaign manager. 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 But I wasn't no one's campaign manager.
But I wasn't no one's campaign manager.
Oh, see, there you go. There you go. The lies. There you go. This bitch, I'm telling you. Trifling.
Madam Chair, through you to Ms. Lott. Now, let me ask a question because I was listening in on last week. I think a question was asked about you working on someone's campaign, and did you say that you worked on my campaign?
Yes, I did. I don't know if you were aware, and I don't realize why those questions come up to this particular thing of who campaigns I worked on, because I think that's irrelevant to what I'm actually here for. But since the statement was made, yes, I did. When you actually was running for office, I walked with your father, C. Winfrey, and helped get signatures to get you on the ballot. And you can verify that with him. You wasn't out there with us at that time.
Okay, I was just wondering. I didn't see it. I didn't know. So. But I think, Madam Chair, is that funny? Why is that so funny?
Well, thanks for asking. It's funny because it sounds like we are holding good organizations doing good work politically captive because of what you asked. Proceed, Ms. Winfrey Carter.
Here we go. I'm just asking a question. Here we go. I didn't need the laughter from you.
So do the kids get paid?
Yes.
They do?
You mean to get paid to go to the program through the program?
Yes.
Oh no, I place them on the job where they get paid.
So when they go through we gonna give you $200,000. Out of the $200,000 that you asking us for, the kids don't get none of that funding.
Now that's our overhead to run the program, and that's for the staffing.
So what happens if you guys don't get this funding? How would you sustain yourself?
We continue to look for funding through organizations like yourself.
I understand you will continue to look for funding. I'm saying, would you sustain yourself if you didn't get the $200,000? Like, how are y'all operating now?
We're grant funded by other organizations, as I stated. It's $400,000 some odd dollars a year. So Ruth Mott gives us a grant. CS Mott gives us a grant. The Community Foundation, we're grant funded because we're a non-for-profit. So we are supported by other organizations.
So you do got funding now?
We have some of our funding. We don't have all our funding for the year.
To pay y'all salaries?
Not all of our funding for the year. No, we don't have it.
So this money is to pay y'all salaries.
No, it would be to run the program to place over 75 to 80 kids on jobs. So we can't. I wouldn't word it like that, Mr. Quincy. I would look at the funding would go to help kids get jobs.
So this $200,000 is not going towards salaries.
Some of it is going towards salary.
That's my point. Because we ain't gonna pay in the middle.
Well, no, what I'm stating, I'm stating, Mr. Quincy, is, and in all due respect to you, all funding go towards salaries. Even your budget go towards. I mean, I'm just stating that I understand what you're saying, but some of the funding does go towards to pay my staff.
Yeah, I understand that. So
Yes.
that's why I asked: was the kids directly being funded through this? Now, I work with I worked with my youth quest before, and them kids got paid.
Well,
when they went through a program, so I was asking a question: does the kids, when they go through this 6 to 8 week program, are they getting paid to go through this program, or is they going through a volunteer program with a hope that they may get a job working somewhere?
What makes my program different from Youth Quest, and I get like 90% of people, the students that went through Youth Quest, is because I guarantee them an interview with a live employer that's going to pay them a salary, and not just for the summer, but for the fall, the summer, the winter, and the spring. And so that's what separates my program different from Youth Quest. No, there's a volunteer program, but I get like 90% of Youth Quest graduates because they didn't get a job.
Okay. So you saying y'all focus more on getting them permanent jobs?
Exactly. Not just summer jobs.
Okay.
And not just some of my kids. All of my kids get placed if they want to work.
And I got a niece that go to Hamady, and how do y'all get the word out? Because I've been on her every morning when I drop her off about, why you ain't trying to find a job in this.
We're up in Hamady, and you can ask Miss Ross this.
No,
we advertise. They make announcements. We put up flyers. I personally go there and we sign up kids at lunchtime.
You got some flyers today?
I actually gave you. I got some
brochure?
brochures. Yeah, but I got some more brochures.
Okay.
And we'll be back at Hamady in the fall. What grade is she in?
10.
Okay, give me her name and I'll make sure I look for her.
All right, thank you. I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
I think that last remark might have been a pay to play. Give me her name. I'll be back there in the fall while you stand up there at the podium voting. So I'm going to say quick that I'm going to let you dive into this. 16 kids in that program did not and were not residents of the city of Flint. 16. And I see JWC said she was rude, she was combative. I mean, the comments.
Did you see what else JWC
No,
said?
I did not.
Did you see where she also said that she confirmed with C. Winfrey that she did not work on her campaign?
So she told another lie. So did it show, because we showed that in that clip with thank you, Xavier, 8110 Flint. And congratulations on your graduation from USC.
Hey,
that she was the campaign manager. There's a whole article. It's in print. It has been archived. Let me correct you. Now, I'm going to be perfectly clear because I knew she was up there lying. Because when I worked on the campaign with Sheldon Neely, she was Cindy's campaign manager and she worked on Sheldon's. So at that point, I was done. You ain't lying to me. Only thing I could do was do my vote. You were lying to yourself. I'm like, oh, and then she was combative. You were her campaign manager. The print just showed it. Okay, I ain't got to go back. And then she wasn't on Jerry Winfrey Carter's campaign. But see, Winfrey, I went door to door, and he said, "No, that ain't true." So integrity. What are you teaching these kids with this program? What are we teaching these kids? Integrity, honesty. And they got Christopher Martin on here teaching them faith. But I'm going to wait my turn. You got the flow.
Okay, first off, let's start with the non-for-profit.
What is that? What is a
non-for-profit?
I never heard of that.
I couldn't get past that. I've never in my life seen so many people who operate in a professional capacity that just can't use words. No. The non-for-profit threw me off. And then let's go to the sponsors and the grants. So she spoke about receiving grants because they first approached the ARPA committee for $417,000, I believe. Then it was pushed to council for the $200,000. So when they get to council for the $200,000, and Quincy, I'll give him his flowers on this one. He asked some really good questions about, well, what happens if you don't receive this money? What does this look like? And what have y'all been doing without it? Those are some very valid questions, because when she spoke about grants, I said, oh, okay, well, these are different Ruth Mott Foundation, CS Mott, Community Foundation, and Elga Credit Union, I believe is one that she
now this would have been this was in June 8th. And I'm apologizing. Quincy was really like not for the mess then. He was doing a turnaround. And this is one of the things where you see him saying, look, I know better, right. And his questions were good questions, but somehow they coerced him to doing it. But okay.
They did. And then her interjecting, I understood exactly what he was saying when he was asking her, explain to me, what does this cover? What is this paying for? And she tried to say, well, it is paying for us and the employees, and it's not paying for the kids program. Yeah. It's paying for the teaching or the lessons or something along those lines. But it's like, that's paying for the program. So which one is it? So anywho, so when she spoke about grants and sponsors, I think it's important to know the difference between a grant and having a sponsor. Grants are typically financial or monetary winnings or awards or whatnot that's handed from a corporation to another entity without looking for anything in return. It's just given in kind. This money that they don't expect anything, any form of repayment or anything. It's just, after submitting your proposal or whatnot on what it is that you're working on, then they just, hey, here's this amount of money, we support, do as you wish. Now, sponsorships, typically they'll give money. However, it's in exchange for usually like marketing or something like that. So what I found interesting about those grants is that if you go on the Faith Foundation website, you see that the grants that she spoke about are coming from sponsors. I found that very interesting. So Ruth Mott Foundation, CS Mott, Community Foundation, these are sponsors. So sponsors, I guess, are also supplying grants as well, which I found very interesting. And then you're also requesting that the city of Flint, which is also a sponsor, and Out Front, which is also a sponsor. Now, Out Front, I'm not sure if you all remember when Jedediah had an issue with the Billboard company. Out Front was that Billboard company. They are also a sponsor of Faith Foundation Resources. So now, I find it very interesting.
Another thing with Out Front. Out Front has on, I think, I-69, like near 75. Mayor Neely has a billboard out front. Dennis called to tell me about it. And so they have, and there's another billboard that's downtown that Arthur Woodson had asked about. How are you guys paying for this billboard that was $100,000? So okay, go on, girl. Proceed.
Well, I just found it very interesting that these grants and sponsorships are used intertwined. I don't know. I would be interested in knowing how the sponsorship versus the grant portion works, because if they are sponsors and they're giving grants, and
say that again, they doing what? Hold on.
They are sponsors and giving grants. And one of your sponsors is the city of Flint and Out Front, as well as these organizations that you have listed. I would be interested in knowing what these grants look like.
So people may not know that Out Front, the part, and I'm going to just pin right here, because when you say that Out Front is the billboard company that when you see who does advertising, Beverly Biggs Levy did or not, she didn't, Jedediah Brown, they want to do the excommunicated activist because they want him gone.
They want him gone.
They want him
Bad.
gone. And so
Bad.
he went there to ask about the billboards. They didn't put them up. That was the billboards with Neely hugging the clown. And so I'm sorry. I ain't really laughed in days, but
In the red suit.
And so they didn't like the hug and the clown. So they threw his behind out of there. They called the police on Jedediah. So Jedediah sent it in a mailer. And so that is the problem with that one. And so I don't know if he ever got his money back though. And so out front is clearly dealing, Annie's in a resource. But hold on, we got happy birthday, Art, and I'm gonna sing. He's on here, so I'm gonna sing my little cheesy.
Art.
Yeah, happy birthday, Woodson. Happy birthday, Woodson. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, okay.
So he asked, and he's in here on the DDA. Today is his birthday. And he's asking everybody to donate. It's on his page to St. Mark's. Y'all, they still holding up the money. And so he asked me about the DDA and the billboard and how much that it costs. So here's a bill. I mean, they got a lot of different things going on here.
A lot of different things. A lot. Different things.
So that's what Outfront is. So Outfront is an advertising agency that does marketing and billboards. And they told Jedediah, we ain't putting your billboard up with the mayor in the clown.
Right. And you're not getting your money back.
Yeah. And gone. And look, and we call him the Popo.
And we're calling the police. And did they press charges or get a PP? No.
He talked to, he ended up leaving the police and they told him, I don't know what happened if he got his money back. I do not know.
Right.
I do not know.
Okay. Well, also, so one of Quincy's questions also revolved around whether or not the students or the kids would receive funding or would the payment of the $200K go directly to them as far as their, I guess, hourly pay. She kept saying salary. I doubt it's a salary. I'm pretty sure it's hourly pay. So she said no, that it would go to support the program and to also assist in the salaries of herself and those who were running the program. This is when she started to become very defensive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like was when those questions started coming about where the money actually was going. So when she mentioned where the students would be employed, because she is not an employer, she is teaching them job skills, life skills, literacy skills, or whatnot. She just helps them to go further to get an interview. So what I found interesting was she said that 98%, I believe 95 or 98% receive an interview. And when asked,
was it an interview or a job?
I think it was an interview.
Okay.
It might be, well, you know what? That's interesting. It probably started an interview because the lies, you can't keep up with them after you keep telling them. So it probably started with interview and it probably ended with job. But at some point, she said that most of her kids, then it was all of her kids are guaranteed an interview. And she used the word guaranteed. So what I also thought was something that was brow raising were the companies that she listed as employers or potential employers. Walmart, Sam's Club, Olive Garden. She did mention Old Navy, JCPenney, Kroger, and Elga Credit Union. Now, Elga Credit Union is used to establish a savings account. So in the whole financial literacy portion, she did mention that they do teach them how to create a savings account so that they can build credit and get those FICO scores at a different place, which I think is cool. But
I do like that part.
I do like that part. So Walmart, Sam's Club, Olive Garden, Kroger, and Elga Credit Union are also sponsors of the Faith Foundation resources. So all of these sponsors are involved in this somehow. So you're teaching them the skills and you already have them as sponsors on for your program. So they've already given something. they've already given money in exchange for the advertising and the marketing. And now we've taken it a step further, and now we have people who are going to be employed by you. So what exactly is this $200K going to? Specifically, when the $200K that you are requesting has a stipulation that every person who falls under this resolution must live in Flint. Now, when she was asked about this by Judy, she said that 98% of her students live in Flint. Baby, no. 100% should live in Flint, not 98. And that still doesn't sound like the right number when you have 16 kids who have been found to not live in Flint. So what's the truth here?
Well, I know she was the campaign manager. She told a lie. I know that.
And that part, because there are actually two pictures. There's one picture when Cynthia won, when it was announced, and she's hugging Cynthia Neely as her campaign manager. And the other photo was the one that Xavier put up on 810 Flint video.
So she got a couple of. I'm not supporting these, and they can do whatever they want to do with these jobs, because
exactly
we technically had a budget deficit, and I'm gonna get into that part later. Landon, can you come in for a second? I don't know if you are situated yet. Okay. Can you put up the two pictures I sent to you so people know what the out front, because I've got some things. People are like, what are you talking about with out front? And so I'm gonna show what out front they kicked Jedediah behind out of there.
Yes, and then doing a little bit of research, it was like, is that logo looks familiar. Oh, wait, that's
not that one.
That's
I
the
think
same
you should
Billboard company.
Yeah, it should be the last two that I sent you. They're the Billboard.
Okay.
You're triple dipping. You have sponsors.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's each hand is, you can, and this is really following the money. This is following the money. I mean, Angela gets out here and hustles and does her thing, but girl, don't come be rude and wrong. Don't do that, and then get caught in lies. No, I'm going to correct you here. No,
exactly.
You're correcting yourself.
No, actually, you're not. You're not going to.
Right, I'm not going to argue with you. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. So, when that Billboard part came up, and when you said out front, yes, Landon.
All right. Sorry, y'all. I was uploading them now. Here we go.
Okay. So this is the first one that out front would not put up, because they told Jedediah that he had to get it approved by the mayor. 2 faces, 1 city, choose wisely, from City Hall to the circus. Welcome to the 3rd Ward. Make 3rd Ward serious again. Paid for by Jedediah Brown of Investigate and Advocate. Chicago, we support Beverly Biggs Levy. So out front told Jedediah, you got to get that approved. We're not going to, we done took your money already, but the mayor has to say it's okay to put that up. So then he said, because he's depicted in a negative way. And that's what they stated to him. This is out front. And the video is there. You can go and listen to it, because he went there and recorded it. So I don't know, Landon, do you have the other? So then he provided an alternative. So his alternative, them hands look creepy on there. I'm just going to say it.
This is so good. I love it.
So then he did a second one. Since they said, they didn't put him in a clown, they had him hugging a clown. 2 faces, 1 city, choose wisely, from City Hall to the circus. Make the 3rd Ward serious again. We support Beverly Biggs Levy. And so they said, okay, well, he's not dressed up as a clown. They actually have him dressed very dapper. Him and the clown is, they have tuxes on, or evening jackets. And so
smoking
jacket. So then they told him, we're not going to do this one. The mayor has to approve. Out front told him the mayor has to approve this one. That one wasn't approved, so he just sent out a mailing. He just sent a mailing. I don't know if he ever got refunded. I have not asked him that. And so out front is with is one of, you can take them down now, please, Landon. So out front is one of her grantors or sponsors. Which one is it?
That is a sponsor.
That's one of her sponsors.
That is a
okay.
sponsor.
And I've seen her billboards up before. I've seen her billboards up. So can you put up, Landon, the requirements? I think it's in, and maybe I can send them down because you're probably not going to know which one they are. You've got them. What the requirements are for because it's a lot. So what the requirements are, do I need to send them back to? It's got a red arrow going that way. Nope, not that one. My bad. It's the one underneath it. So qualifying for the youth, because I don't want y'all to believe me. I want you to see it for yourself. Okay, this one, that was the resolution, but we can let's do the qualifying first, and it should be a red box. Yeah.
There we go.
So qualifying you want to read it, Sheena?
Yes. So qualifying youth. Eligible applicants must live within the city limits of Flint, be at or below 300% of federal poverty limits, and have a hardship that is a direct result of COVID-19. Documentation for income verification is required, must be between the ages of 15 and 19. So okay. She said 98% of her students live within Flint. When Judy asked, did she know that the resolution applied to only Flint residents? And she confirmed, then said, yes, I know 98% of my students live in the city of Flint. 98%, and there's a 2%. No.
So 16 youth did not verify. 16. Judy was even telling Liddell, oh, that Liddell Mill Road is not in the city of Flint. 16 of these students did not qualify according to the ARPA guidelines. We'll be using ARPA money for these youth jobs. Now, they have stated, these other organizations, that Angela Lott did the vetting process. There were 6 of them. 5 of them had students outside the city of Flint. The only organization that did not have students outside of Flint was Angela Lott's Faith Foundation. Every single other one did, which is a violation. You cannot do that. So when they're telling you about this program, first, do it right. Now, you've heard Liddell Lewis and Candace say, oh, we have to turn away kids from getting jobs. Well, you had 16 in it with your buddies who didn't verify that they lived in Flint. So this is the part. Then they will not tell us what companies, who's going to be the fiduciary. They want us to blindly vote and then them fill it in with it later. That's not how that goes. That's simply not how that goes. First of all, you done botched it your first time. You tell us it was such a big need. 16 of last year's students didn't even live in Flint. Do they give their money back? Do we take it from her organization? Do we charge her penalties? Who was in charge of this? Who was in charge? And so this is the part where they're not dotting their I's and crossing their T's. So 16 of the children, it is a requirement that the eligible applicants must live within the city of Flint, must be at or below 30% of federal poverty, and must have a hardship that is a direct result of COVID-19. I don't even know how you prove that part. I really don't. But then you got students who live in Flint Township and other area. No. This is council's job that we have to vet. And so when they try to say, oh, you're holding up. Liddell, in August, you coming back. We want to know what you spend with your $75,000. And look, if you want to pay my water, knock yourself out, okay? Because I'm going to keep chipping away at mine. But she to pay hers first. So I need to get people to understand they took a program that was for Flint youth, used it for whoever. And that's not what was supposed to be done. So The next one, I think, so one of the people, now this was disturbing to me. Can you put the one with the red arrow, please? Cathedral of Faith, Bishop Christopher Martin of Cathedral of Faith, who put the lie up that I brought everybody here, and then his parishioner, Liddell Lewis, doubled down with him. So both of them doubled down with the lies. So Cathedral of Faith, this is what they stated that they taught the kids. Cathedral of Faith taught the importance of faith and confidence when navigating through life's experiences through cleanup and mentorship. He taught faith, the importance of faith. First of all, you got to understand the importance of telling the truth. When you are a lying bishop and you have a lying parishioner who is the lying interim council president, when they both lie. I had nothing to do with Jedediah. Jedediah is his own man. And look, he probably can't follow himself sometimes because when it hit him, he all over it. How you gonna have Christopher Martin, who gets has a stake in this, he gets money too. Then I didn't understand they got on here child care services. So you know, I'm not understanding this. So it's the friends, what's the FBI? Friends, brothers, and in-laws. I mean, these need to be and acquaintances too. And so he has no business teaching anybody anything about faith, truth. He is not a mentor, has no business being a mentor. His chief bishop of the Kojic Church needs to rein him in. He owes me an apology with his lying self. When you just out here lying with no consequences, and make a post. Yeah, and then you make a post, putting it in writing. Loud, lying, and wrong is what he is. I didn't bring them people here. Then there was a whole hour and a half. And if I could do the boots on the ground, I'd have sure did it. I got a 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And at the crossover, getting a little slippery for me. But I think that we have to understand these people all know each other. And so it's you got out front, absolutely everyone's connected.
It's all intertwined. It's a very tangled web.
It's very, very tangled. And so did you have anything else on this?
Well, I do find it very interesting that I keep saying very interesting. I'm sorry, y'all, but it is. It's all interesting because when you start digging into the facts and digging into what's going on, like you said, it's just too much, and this tangled web just gets weirder. So going back to her being Cynthia Neely's campaign manager, she was also one of her top contributors to her campaign.
Say what?
Landon, I think you have that. She was also one of her top contributors to Cynthia Neely's campaign.
You can't make this stuff up.
And she gave $2,000 in her name.
Oh.
And another thing, she also does like Angela Thomas lot. Yeah, Landon, do you have that one? It's going to be, there we go. Okay. Top contributor. Y'all see that? Top contributor.
Top that's a lot of contributions that State Rep Cynthia Neely got. 72,000 contributions, 72,670. Oh, okay. I'll let you go ahead and read it down.
Well, yeah, we have the Meyer PAC of Michigan for 4,000, Michigan LCV PAC, Joe Tate campaign, Michigan Beer and Wine Wholesalers PAC, Michigan Laborers, Moving Michigan Forward Fund, American Federation and State County Municipal Employees, and Angela Thomas Lots for $2,000. She was a top contributor to her campaign for her current seat, and campaign manager, who also has the city of Flint as a sponsor for her non-for-profit, double negative, whatever, Out Front, who is also a sponsor. Her sponsors are also her grantees or her grantors, like they have written grants also. And those that she listed as potential employers for her students are also sponsors, which includes Kroger, Olive Garden, Walmart, Sam's Club, I feel like, and this is just me thinking, we've dipped into the pot potentially.
Well, hold on.
At least 3 times. Like,
right. I'm looking at Prestige Promotions. Was that on the cities that we had some promotion companies on those 90 pages that we wrote text to?
This list is actually very long.
Right. So that Prestige Promotions, have to look to see if they're on there in the city check register. Because that's going to be okay.
Well, that list, which is found on Ballotpedia, is actually very long, and there are some other very familiar names on there.
So that information can be found on
Ballotpedia.org.
Ballotpedia. Okay.
And just so you all know, you can find Carol. I'm going to pretend to be shocked. You can find everything on Ballotpedia, and I have another website that I use as a source. It's based out of Houston, and it's really good. I'll have to probably post it on our page, but yeah, you can find the entire list of contributors on there, and yes, you will find some very familiar names. She green.
Well, he has got to, because he's the best friend of Mayor Neely. But Chief Green, at this time, y'all know, first time I really don't have words. I mean, because I don't have any good ones. I really don't. So can you put up the resolution of it, Landon? And I'm sorry. So this is the resolution where they wanted us to pay, it's $225,000 to this program. And as you hear Quincy state, the money goes for all overhead. It does not go to any of the children. It goes for them to teach them how to be faith and mentor. And Christopher Martin shouldn't be teaching anybody anything. No.
Now we're preaching hate from the pulpit too.
Yeah, that's that part. Say it again, because he sure did that.
Yeah,
sure did that.
Yeah,
preaching hate against, it should have been a first. Make sure if it's a first lady, you may have a first gentleman. Okay, well, you're the first chief and liar. Get out of people's bedrooms. Get yourself together over at Cathedral of Faith first, so you worry about what folks doing at their house in their privacy. Ain't that business?
Yeah, as a straight man, why are you concerned?
Why? Say it again.
Like, why are you?
As a straight man, why is he so concerned?
Why are you concerned?
That's just weird to me. It's
you collect
weird.
your Verizon check for that big tower that you put
with
big
the crosses
cardboard
on.
with the cross on there. Collect your little check from that. Pay that $9,000 water bill, and let's move on, sir.
Yeah, look, Liddell need to help her pastor pay his. You worrying about mine? My water wrong. I got a payment arrangement for this, so she needs to help her pastor, and she needs to pay her $1,900 one on her own. Now, no one else will be able to cut their water on with a back water bill, but she got one on hers. She got one. It's number 2 account. It's 1 account, 2 account. She got it. But come August, we want to know where she spent that $75,000. Now, anybody feel free, you can donate and pay my water bill off. Okay. So Quincy stated, where's the money going? His questions were very valid and good.
Mm-hmm.
The kids, all that goes to overhead, to fund their overhead, whoever running their programs. And so $225,000 is what it's increased to. We know she gave $2,000 to the mayor's program, well, probably to his too. I don't, because you just put up State Rep Cynthia Neely's. You didn't pull up the mayor.
Because I'm trying to find out what your state rep is doing out there and why all this money is going missing that we know is going into the state of Michigan. Why is Flint not being represented from the top down?
Listen, what's that little boy talking about he does the little thing talking about Johnny got $1 and Johnny got this and something. Johnny spent this, the little boy said, Johnny broke. I forget that little one. Johnny broke. So we should be, in all seriousness, represented from having the mayor to the mayor's wife. We should be well represented. We should be well represented with the mayor and the police chief being best friends. He should be able to help them get anything that we needed for crime prevention, a comprehensive public safety plan, an opioid plan, which would tie into the fire chief's opioid plan that he said he had, but he absolutely doesn't have one. And told me he walked up to me after, he says, I don't even know what one is.
No, ma'am.
Yes, he did. Yes,
he told
he did.
You what?
He didn't even know what one is. What is it? I said, and I went to tell him what some of the things are that are in it: intervention, prevention, and going over these things. We'll get into that. But he, I told him, I said, look, instead of coming at me, what you need to do is say, can you help me? Mm-hmm. Can you help me? I'm not understanding. Or Councilwoman Burns, let me check into that. Can I give you a call? That's what you do when you're trying to build relationships. Mm-hmm. No, he and I'm just at the point. First of all, I was trying to process Mr. Moore, not having any answers.
I can't.
Not an answer. So keep on going. So this everyone is the resolution, because I want everyone to have the information so that they can say, oh, well, this was said, and this is this is works cited. Yeah, we're going back to college. So we're showing our works cited. We're not plagiarism pirates over here. So not at all.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give you know my sources.
That part. So that I don't want them just saying, we're just coming up with stuff, because we're not. And it takes a lot of time to go through all of this.
It does.
And so the campaign contribution. So we know that Angela did not tell the truth. And she was very abrasive and rude and
extremely
dismissive.
And that wasn't the only rude encounter that she had with JWC either.
Yeah, she got a problem with it, but I don't think she might want to come back on that with her again, because JWC is not having it. People tired. People tired. I'm just waiting for Davina to say one day when they get snippy with her, for her to say, who the hell are you talking to? I got this. I'm waiting on Davina to say that. Because you can see it's building up even with her, the disrespect. So anything else? Go ahead. I kind of just butted in just a little bit.
No, you're good. I just think it's a good time to review what exactly is going on. And like I mentioned, from the top down, that's how it kind of started with me, was what's going on with the state rep. And I've mentioned it several times, probably for a couple of years now. From the top down, what are we looking at? Because a lot of this is beyond council. What's going on with the state representative, where it seems like we're missing, there's a disconnect. And so once we get to this portion and looking into Angela Lott and Faith Foundation resources and how she's involved, no, like the job of your state rep is creating and passing laws and making sure that finances and financial resources are reaching your city and who you represent. So what is happening? It seems like there's just this disconnect, and I decided to dig into it. And when you start with campaign contributions and who's paying what, and yeah, then
it's
there's a rabbit
story
hole.
Really unfolding, and it takes time to really connect the dots, because they're kind of all over. But you can see, and that's what we're trying, and that's what Sheena was doing, connecting the dots to show if this is connected to this, to out front, to Jedediah couldn't get his, to the mayor has to have approval of what their company is doing,
Exactly.
Right, and to Angela Lott's sponsorship. And so everything is, we can see that it's a lot of this is connected.
Yes.
So that's why you see that.
And a lot of people like to paint this story like, oh, well, they just don't want kids to have jobs. No, we need to understand, where is the payment coming from and who is receiving these resources financially, when so much money has been poured and we're not seeing the return on investment. So yeah, and that's to counter that argument. So I 100% agree with you.
And thank you for doing your research on that. Landon, Kawana Mack put a very good point. How nasty Chief Wiggins was about those transport only ambulances, because that's what they are. He was very disrespectful. Him, Seamus, and Ed are very nasty and disrespectful to women. Ed came up there trying to check me too. Ed, you better go on somewhere. He came up there, I'm gonna say it one more time. Here we go. No, I'm gonna say it one more time. I know what I'm asking. I absolutely know what I'm asking. Mm-hmm. Now we can draw it out because it's going to come out. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna play with him either. You get these leases, and he's rude, disrespectful. He was to Beverly Lewis at Hasselbrink. He was very rude, unprofessional. They didn't even want to be in the same room with him. They did not. So then you got Chief Wiggins, who did come up afterwards. When you at the mic, he showed his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Every
time
not
he gets up
cool
there,
at all.
Rude, nasty, stank attitude. It's just ridiculous.
But then he wants to, kumbaya in private. And you a pastor? I'm asking him a specific question. You told me you had an opioid plan. When you keep saying you need opioid money, you need a plan.
You do.
What? Because in your plan should state what do you need for opioid money. So are we done with Angela with her thing?
Yes.
Okay.
We can push forward. Yes.
Yeah. So tomorrow, that's probably gonna be back on there. I ain't looked at the agenda. It'll probably be back on there with the jobs. And so I want y'all to know, because y'all be having a bunch of chats. And I want to say kudos to the Reverend with his little clergy collar on. Is it Humal Smith, who came and wrote a beautiful letter. He is, and I'm gonna try to find that one, because we got to start saying we are inclusive of everyone, inclusive of Black, white, Hispanic, Latino, Jewish, Protestant, Catholic, LGBTQ community. Because this is government. You have to be included, because your taxes don't say you get to be excluded, or FICA come out your check or whatever, because you're not with this group. We have to be inclusive. Mm-hmm. And this administration is something else. So I do want to say that. So can you play, Landon, the one with Fire Chief Wiggins about those ambulances? And I do want to say this while he's getting that. We first came up and asked for ambulances in 2022. Mm-hmm. And this was not the mayor's idea. It was not. Because at this time, I had went over to the 911 center. Dennis was then talking to the mayor, which I didn't know what he was doing with the mayor. I had no idea. But he had did a press release. But I knew, because residents were telling me there were no ambulances that were able to show up in 24 hours. And so I had went over there, sat, I didn't put the earphones on, and watched the calls come in. And Flint, there were no ambulances that were available for people when they called. And so that was one of the things that I had asked for and Mays had asked for, and they voted it down in 2022 when we were first trying to get ARPA funds for what we would spend for city council, our $30,000. And that was when I think Liddell voted that down. And she voted down Haskell Center too, to give for the PAL program $250,000. So those ambulances, I know Dennis had wanted, we end up having a problem with that one company. Mays and I, and we've had some switch arounds, and things have moved. It's been very fluid. And now we know we're, I guess people, once you see the light, once you see the light, I'm coming
the
to
Uberlance.
The light.
I know. Yeah. Step into the light, Caroline.
Yeah. So Dennis supports these ambulances, and he was supporting them. He knew we had a problem, but I did not know what his meetings were. And I did not know. I know he did a press conference with the mayor, and Dennis was trying to get along with everybody. He really was. Yeah. He was. But Dennis,
that's what you want to call it.
Dennis, you put Candace in that seat, you would have vote.
You are not gonna let him live that down.
I'm not, because I told him. And what does she do? You're a snake. You're no good. You're slimy. You're just no good. You're a racist. Okay, this man voted for you. He voted to put you interim in that seat. Soon as she got in that seat, she said, "To hell with you, Dennis."
She did. And
then that day when her and Liddell had him boxed in, I was like, Dennis. Dennis. That day when they was going at him that day. I was like, I don't want I don't want him to hit them or them to hit her. Then I get up and intervene and get called a bitch.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, ooh.
And you were.
Yeah.
All I could say.
I'm like, girl, this man, you taking him up here. You know, you can't do that to people.
Mm-mm.
You can't. No. Oh, what happened?
Oh, you're singled out. Go ahead then.
We got a problem.
No, you're singled
out. Landon. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's go on to he's switching up he's trying to be fancy on us.
Oh, okay. Well.
Okay. So can we put up the video with Chief Wiggins? Chief Wiggins has a problem talking to me. He just does. And I've been very calm with him. You know, and yeah, Woodrow Green tried to make the remark that he thought I was getting smart. Disagree with you before, Woodrow Green? Absolutely not. He is responsible. It has nothing to do with gender. Well, I guess it does. He's rude to women. But I wasn't rude to him. He can't never. And now when Dennis asked him the question before, he answered it. When I asked him, he couldn't answer. So I'm gonna help him out with what an opioid plan is. You know, I want what's for the city. But don't get up there and show your ass and you don't know what is an opioid plan.
And I myself even looked into safety plans that have been successful across the country. We've actually shared that information though. Yeah. So it's not hard to find out what's working for other cities and what's not. But yeah, I've shared that.
It's not. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Oregon has a plan. Cahoot's very good. Baltimore, Maryland has a comprehensive plan, and these plans intertwine. And so Detroit has a good plan. You ain't got to go out the damn state to get it. And so, Landon, you got the video?
Yep, I was gonna say I apologize. I just got to the studio. I was switching over, so yep.
You good.
That's Hendrick Studios, located downtown Flint, Michigan. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ready with
on the bricks.
Fifth Ward with Councilwoman Jerry Carter.
So when he gets that up, then we're spending out of this opioid plan, opioid money. Where's the opioid plan? We were supposed to get that too. To how we're allocating, how we're spending. Everything keeps seeming to come from that 30%. And where is the opioid plan?
There is a budget for the opioid dollars. I don't think there's a plan that.
Well, during budget hearings, I did speak with Chief, and he stated he had one. Is he here? No, Chief Wiggins. Yeah, Chief Wiggins.
Chief Wiggins, can you join us at the lectern?
So.
You got 17 seconds left. RL.
So Chief Wiggins, do you have the opioid plan? I know with the ambulance that you're getting a lot of those. Do we have the opioid plan, or is it being
Can you
worked
repeat
on?
your question?
Do we have the opioid plan?
Do we?
Do you?
Her time is up.
Our opioid plan is the Flint ambulance. Every time someone gets sick with opiate, I'm there at their doorsteps. That's my plan. And then I take them to the hospital. I give them Narcan. We call for the paramedics if they can't make it, but we take them to the hospital. We have 2 ambulances that we run 24 hours, 7 days a week. Whenever we get an opioid situation, we send them. That's our plan.
Do you have it written, sir?
I have it verbal. I have it verbal, and I will have it written, just what I said. We go out to there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And thank you for that. But do we have anything that it includes intervention, prevention, care? Do we have that? I've been asked.
Intervention is not my job. My job is to respond when the 911 operator calls me, I respond immediately within 5 to 7 minutes.
Chief, I'm not arguing with you. I understand what your part is response. But in the opioid plan, it's not just yours. It's also social services. There's other areas. So when I asked before, we have opioid money coming here and everything keeps getting siphoned off. We need an opioid plan.
I go to the mayor. I'm sorry. Who's asking me this question?
Okay,
now?
I need no
answering
problem.
The audience?
I need you all to stop yelling out. No problem. Stop yelling out.
My time is up, so I'd have to wait.
Thank you.
Go ahead and answer that question.
Again, what was that question?
The opioid plan, is there something that we're working on? We should have one by now because we're receiving that money. And that is a thorough plan. How do we deal with the opioid crisis as those dollars are coming into our community? Not just your portion, where you're saying I get an overdose, then we have people go out. But what is our intervention, our prevention, and everything else that goes into one?
My fire department is a reactionary.
Right.
When the bell rings, we respond. As far as a plan of action, my people have to be out of the station within 2 minutes. And they get to the scene within 7 minutes to administer Narcan, to give them oxygen, and to ship them to the hospital as fast as possible. That's the only plan I got.
I got it. And
Save lives.
And it should be more, and that's not on your, it should be more of a thorough plan is what that's what I've been looking for. Now, maybe I need to, when we talk about, an opioid plan, you're dealing with the issues that cause it. And maybe it needs to be working with the navigators or with Miss Shelley Sparks' Green Department. But I get yours, but it's other parts too that we should have an entire plan. So that you don't have to have so many people you got to go give oxygen and Narcan to.
I give my request to the mayor, and he gives me an ambulance. He's purchased 3 ambulances at $250,000 per ambulance with opioid funds. We also got strikers. Those are pumpers that if that person's not breathing, it pumps them immediately. That's what our plan is. Our plan is to save lives.
And I get it, but I don't think you're getting me. And so when I'm saying, when we talk about drug abuse, intervention and prevention has a lot more entail.
That's not in my purview.
Right.
All right, so thank you. That is time, because I think y'all are going back and forth with the same points. Is there anyone else?
I'm stressed all over again. So here's the thing where I don't know if it's a nice way. I don't even know about being nice, but let me say this. In a plan, because I've been asking for this. We've been had opioid money for 2 years. And so we have an opioid epidemic in the city of Flint, which is why we are receiving that money. He doesn't have a plan. Now, I will say this in fairness. He did, after he was so rude to me, he could have said, hey, tell me what do you mean? Can I work with you? Tell me what it is that you're looking for. So here are some that is literally in our packets. They have, when a resolution comes up, so say this resolution comes up, there's a place where they have to sign, and it's called the Resolution Defense Team. I had never seen that before. Why are you pitting counsel against the administration? I don't, and I'm, I'm like, wait a minute, this has got a resolution defense team.
Resolution defense team.
Yep. So if you have a resolution, so let's say from planning and development, it's a section that states the resolution defense team, and so that is a problem for me.
Yeah, that is a big problem.
And so why are you defending? You're doing your job. It's not defending, you're presenting. It should say presenter. It shouldn't say nothing. Look, it's your job. Get your behind up there and do it.
Right. You should be able to speak to your resolution and the needs and the sources that go into it.
Right. I mean,
you're not defending anything.
Like they're going to shut it down. And it's in our resolutions. I don't know if my colleagues have noticed that, but I did. And so
that's very weird. That's very strange. Can Davina attest to that, or can she answer that question?
It's theirs. It's not her part that's doing it. It's the mayor, the administration. So I do want to say this. I was trying to get the chief to kind of get to what's prevention, intervention, treatment, recovery, education, data, collaboration, and coordination. Y'all watch that. Look, we still in the dugout with them. We're not even on the playing field. We ain't even grab the bat, ain't grabbing the balls in the dugout. Or no, playing t-ball. Like when my kids, my sons play t-ball, and some of them kids would be just laying in the sand, making sand butterflies or angels and pointing up in the sky, and not a clue. And again, I want
tryouts.
That part. And so this was that part. I was really looking for and been asking for prevention, intervention, education, treatment, recovery, overdose, data, collaboration, and coordination. The part that really disturbed me was that we have an opioid crisis, and they don't get it in this administration. They don't understand what this is. It's so and even when for me to fall back to try to pull out understanding, because they want you to be argumentative, but the ignorance of not knowing how important this is, which it should be married to Police Chief Green's comprehensive public safety plan. John Malley said it's obvious that this administration is incompetent, and not having an opioid plan, which is part of receiving the money, is incompetence. It is incompetence, not having a plan. Literally, I was so taken aback that I couldn't get him to any of those things. He did not understand this administration. So in their resolution defense team, they should have had someone up there, because I've been asking. They said it at budget hearings, which they keep trying to say Judy, and Judy's ass, I'm gonna get her. I'm tired of her. You know, they weren't at only one or two people didn't show up. Let me be clear, it is not required to attend budget hearings. As she's kissing the mayor's behind all the time. She needs to get a SOS pad and scrape those asphalt feet on the bottom of them that's jet black. I'm tired of her. But she's sitting up there worried about what I do on my podcast. Judy, you got some stuff. You got us from 4.3 million deficit to they said it was a 13 million point 2 deficit. Then we had to do 25's budget, but you the finance chair. You don't know your numbers, but you worried about my podcast. And if you go back and watch that video, when Jonathan found out, he told Dennis, and Dennis said it over the thing, their mouths flew open. So they forget that they work with the legislative branch, not the executive branch, the mayor, because they stand up there. Here's the foolish thing. When he talk about council, y'all on council, he talking about y'all. People think y'all on council. Y'all are on council. You think that don't come off as y'all part of the problem? It's just ignorance.
It is, but they're so stuck on everything that he says and does.
In certain podcasts, go get you some SOS pads and clean your feet when you talk about say my name again. I'm getting tired of them. And so we talk about. Listen, she always got something. They mentioned my kids.
That was a huge no.
That part. I'm not gonna do that with her.
Your kids are adults.
Not gonna do it.
Your kids are grown. My babies will always be my babies. Her cats will always be her cats.
That part.
So the dogs will always be her dogs and her babies. So
that part. But see, they try to act like they innocent. Judy say little stuff, little shots underneath her breath all the time. And notice whenever I ask her a question, how nasty. What is it that you need? What? Who
What
the
is
hell
your
is you talking
point?
to?
What is
Yeah.
your point?
What's your point? What's your point? What's your point information? So I'm telling y'all, they be want somebody to be up in there and set it off on them. They better watch it. That June 2nd was the community giving them back the hate that they were giving them. The community gave them back the hate that they've been giving them for over 2 years. And Judy know the difference. She's totally different when Liddell's not there. Totally different.
So she was super nice once that 13.4 was revealed. All of a sudden,
she
knows JWC's mother.
Right.
This is good.
But then she got herself up there with the mayor and tried to dog. He's, Judy, that's why I love you. No, Judy did your dirty work, and she was foolish enough to do it. Foolish enough to do it. So he didn't hike his bestie to do his dirty work. So
and they falling for it.
That part. So I want to say this: Faith worked for the city of Flint. Faith got fired for actually getting $300,000 working with Athena and Arthur Woodson to do indoor plumbing. She was fired for doing her job over and beyond. And so when we talk about, she understood, she stood there with the sign stating, keep your hands off the opioid money. Because she understood, and this was a year and a half ago. Maybe longer than that. Yeah, maybe 2 years ago. It's over a year and a half ago. And so not being able to get anybody there to understand what I'm saying is every single day. You can look up keeping the community informed. I know it's probably 3 or 4 people. Just go down. This week, every day someone's 2 people overdosing in the car, 4 people overdosing in the car. A man and a woman slumped over the steering wheel. Someone unconscious. It's every single day. And they don't know what's going on. And so when I was trying to get the chief, as he wants to berate me because they hate me, look, I'm good being hated. I ain't got no problem. But do your damn job. You need to know what an opioid plan is because you have an opioid problem. You talking about I need more ambulances. You need prevention. Then you don't need to make all them runs.
Right.
You need
think as a fireman, you know that. You go around making sure that smoke detectors, that's a portion of prevention. You know that. So,
fire prevention. Thank you. Opioid prevention. He continued education. The police department continue education and training. It's the same thing with the police, with the fire department. Continue education. Treatment. These people need treatment. You have a problem in your plan as you come trying to berate me. No, I let the world see who you were. I'm trying to help you because it's the community. And it's no longer just, you got a mother whose son who was there, Tonya Jones, who lives in the city of Flint, and Liddell and them, the outsiders go to where Hurricane is nasty as hell. Her son lives here. He gets drugs in Flint. He gets high in Flint.
Right.
And you got a whole police chief and administration and police fire chief don't know what a comprehensive public safety plan is because it would include an opioid plan for treatment. Intervention, prevention, education, the data, coordination, collaboration. And they don't get it. They don't get it, and they ain't trying to get it.
They're not. His answer was basically in his head.
Right. They're busy worried about getting this youth program that these kids ain't even in the city of Flint. 16. What you gonna do with the money that it didn't go to them?
Right. And him just thinking that all we're gonna do is just shoot some Narcan up their nose and that's it. That's his plan. No, that's not how that works. That was
not a plan.
That's very disrespectful to the community too, because it shows, like you said, it shows how much you don't care. When residents are riding around and they're seeing, I've seen several comments where people are like, "Oh, these people look like zombies here," or this, that, and the other. And this is where they'll say, in looser terms, crackheads are, and this person. Just from some of the ward tours, people mentioned that this is where so and so is selling drugs or whatnot. If residents can point that out,
today,
any given day,
two today videos. And one was like 2 houses down in the street. The guy was having an episode, and they were like, "We're moving," and they posted the video. I seen 2 today. That's today. That was before 6 o'clock.
See, that's so disrespectful to the residents because no one wants to see that. And the fact that these people, and we're going to get into that a little later, when Roland Martin made a very, very great point when he said to see Black leadership be a part of an economic apartheid of their city. Oh my gosh. That was a word for me, because to watch and to have Black leadership, to know that these things are happening and to be so disrespectful of those who want a better community for their families and the legacy that they want to leave for their families, that's just disrespectful that you don't even know what an opioid plan is. So much so that you just think you're just going to just shoot them up with the Narcan and send them to the hospital. And then
the mayor bought me. No, the mayor didn't buy those. Council voted on it, when you understand the basics of government. And that came from ARPA. ARPA money came because of a global pandemic where people died. Be respectful of the money, okay?
And thank you. Have a plan in place, something that will help the resident. And then it goes so much further than just helping with addiction, because these are young people that are getting involved in this. When she said it, Tonya, my heart breaks for her. Breaks for her when she gets up there. It's got, y'all don't feel, well, they don't feel anything from seeing that. Like, that's just heartless.
They come up here with what I tell you, resolution defense team. That's not, and it should be collaboration team, because you're collaborating, or coordination team. But when you use words like that, you're divisive and you're not inclusive. Mayor Neely is a divisive person. He's divisive. So. Very, very much. So,
very much so.
I'm gonna do I'm gonna do that last, because I'm not gonna get heavy into the budget, because I want people to know that the budget is, we still have not had the resolution signed. We did not pass the mayor's budget. It did not pass. We passed the budget for last year, and that means he cannot increase any spending. We had 68 million he was spending. We took in 64. We took it down to 60-something million. And which means the budget from last year means the only difference that we did, the only amendment would be that we reduced down the ombudsman's office down to 250,000. So it should technically now be a surplus. So the mayor does have, and I don't know, Landon, if you can come in. I sent you. Do I need to say? I sent you.
Which one was it?
It's in highlighter. It's the budget. It's a poor copy. Y'all know I write all over everything. Literally. So this was our proposed budget deficit, which was $4,248,975. That was our proposed deficit. Then they sent us the one that was 13 point something. Then Mr. Moore got up there with his funny little graphics and said, no, it's the 4.2 because we didn't include the ARPA. And it was a very poorly designed thing because there was no headings on it to know what the categories were. So this is what it's supposed to be, the mayor's proposed budget. But then he's going by the unified, whatever. And he's saying it wasn't because we've got money coming in and da-da-da. And then you get once was who come in and want to tell everybody. And I'm going to leave him alone because my clapbacks, I'm not going to play with any of them. And so what we did was take it back to the 25 budget. And so what that budget is for fiscal year 25 is what he'll end up like a 3-point-something million surplus. But here's the thing. So it should be a part of the charter. So the mayor, I hope, understands that it's not what he's spending right now. The actual, it has to be what the adopted budget was. And I think we're going to have some problems on this. So y'all stay tuned. Mr. Moore still hasn't got us the questions that we need asked. But what I will not do is stop any city services. I'm not going to do it. And so when people say, well, it should have voted out, you cannot do that. I'm going to tell you why. We have a water distribution plant. And in the water distribution plant, It's a red box. I'm gonna send it back down to Landon, if you can put that one up, because it's going to be the charter and a red box. It's a charter page. So the water distribution plan is how the water comes in, it's treated, then it goes to our water distribution system out to every home. I will not stop that, even if you only use it to wash your clothes, your dishes, and flush your toilets. I will not do that. Furthermore, we have a water treatment plant that's out there on Beecher and Linden. I will not stop that, because you got to we have to be able to flush your toilets. And so with being able to flush your toilets, which is important, I'm not going to stop that. I'm not going to stop trash pickup and waste pickup. I'm not. And so when people say, I think Sherry said, well, why didn't we get anything for the people? Well, technically, Sherry, we really don't have nothing for basic services. Because technically, this was a negative $4.2 million deficit. So there is not really, you cannot, we still have stuff to work on. So there's other monies and funds that they state that are coming in. And so as we go into having a fifth vote, August and September is going to be very busy for us. It just is. I sent you the charter thing. And so we will have to make amendments. So what we did was pass the budget, didn't add anything to it, but he wanted to pass a $68 million budget. We took it down to a 60 point something million. So that's what we did. Well, we all voted unanimously. Now, somebody might get fired because of that. And I'm going to tell you, he ain't too happy about it, because the mayor ain't did not one press conference about the budget. And y'all know, I'm going to give it to the mayor. The mayor is the press conference king. He can make a press conference out of Bisquick. Okay? He can make a press conference out of 2 twigs in a leaf. He will make sure that he has a press conference. Landon, I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, I sent you the one. Can you put that up? So we're now waiting on, I should be at the bottom, but I think you already had it loaded too. So now we're waiting on, so the process means after we vote and approve it, and it's a process that not that one. It's got a red box.
Oh, hold up. I got you.
Yeah. And so, thank you. Leave that up. And so it makes its way. And here's one of the things. Everything, so say like contracts, like these contracts, they go through the vetting process and they go through approval of legal, the department, council, and the mayor. And so a lot of times they get stuck at the mayor if he don't like you. That's just the fact. Because he left Big Brothers Big Sisters there for like 3 years. Because he didn't like the fact that former Mayor Woodrow Stanley's wife, Rita Stanley, ran Big Brothers Big Sisters. So he was punishing them. And I was like, when I work, I'm like, Sheldon, you gotta figure out something to do with this, He's like, don't ask me about time. I'm just, okay, but you know what? They're calling. You need to make a mayoral decision. Give them the money. It's Big Brothers Big Sister. I mean, how is catty a word? Or juvenile?
Petty. Trifling.
Now, not for kids with Big Brothers Big Sisters. That is trifling. Because he did. And look, that stuff might still be on that shelf for W.T. Stevens, because they ain't get paid. He didn't want to pay McCree. He didn't want to pay Big Brothers Big Sisters. And there was one more. I can't remember the other. And they were on the shelf collecting dust because he didn't care, because he was the mayor. So in our charter, because so it's now down in the mayor's office, and I don't think they understand. We have not gotten it back yet. So we took it down from a deficit to a surplus, but we know they state there's stuff coming in, and what we did was say, well, let's let it come in. We're gonna pull back. So at this time, there ain't nothing to give residents right now. Okay, we're trying to keep basic services, and because we don't even know everything that's really going on. And by the way, I don't think our 23 or 20 or 24 audit is done or completed yet. So this is the stuff that's going on. And so
he said the audit is not complete from the previous. Okay.
No, not from last year's. It's not. That's what I'm telling. I'm being transparent. So we gonna work on. Yeah. Okay. And so, and I asked, why is it late? They said because of finance. Finance has had it late for the last 3 years. Finance has cost the city more money because they haven't had and prepared their parts presented to the auditors they haven't had the auditing company. And so it costs more. They're like, hey, drag your feet if you want to. We gonna get our money. And we're gonna keep charging you for every day we don't get our money. How about that? And so when people say this, and I want them to understand basic services. So the trash thing, where you saw that it was voted on with Pfeiffer and Jarrett, we're talking, well, let's take the offset one with the garbage with the lights. So they would offset each other. So those are some of the things that are going to be coming up. So right now, as it sits there, the mayor, and I have said this, has a right to veto this budget. He has a right to. His budget did not pass. I don't want people getting wrong information. His budget did not pass. So he has a right to veto this budget. And so on page 63, section 7-102, veto on budget changes, because we got to pay attention. This takes, I remember we kept saying, how many people are in your, who works in the mayor's office? We still ain't got it. You know, and I think it was going up to 27, and everything was all over the place. And it got to the point, I'm like, I can't keep up. I'm tired. And everybody, I'm like, this is ridiculous. And so this is not his budget. And I want to be perfectly clear. We did not pass, his budget did not pass. So the budget that passed was a budget from a prior year, which is more lean. And we took that budget and applied it, which gives us a surplus. So I think he's trying to digest and figure that out, because he did no press conferences to say he got a budget passed. Because his budget did not pass. Y'all know he'd be on everybody's everything. So page 63, he has the right to veto this. Section 7-102, item veto on budget changes. Says the mayor may veto any changes on the budget proposed to the mayor in the manner provided in this charter for veto of ordinances and resolutions. B, within 160 hours after receipt, once it's given to him, and he has not got it yet. I think he's supposed to get it tomorrow. So we in some limbo time. Within 168 hours after receipt of the notice of veto, the city council shall complete the reconsideration of the budget changes disapproved by the mayor. C, no changes from the budget originally proposed by the mayor that are disapproved by the mayor and have any force or effect into 2/3 of the council members' effect vote in favor of the changes at the time to be reconsidered. So let me kind of break that down. So he should be getting the budget, I think, tomorrow to sign off on from finance. It is still in finance because it's not his budget. And so it's in finance. Once he gets it, the mayor has 168 or 7 days, 168 hours or 7 days to veto. So here's the thing. People say, well, you got to have 6, So here's the thing. The veto, we are 8. So it would take 5. We are 4-4 right now. We tend to be split, that we're 4-4. So I want people to understand that part. So the budget, it was not his fiscal year budget, did not pass. We voted unanimously. And so once he gets it tomorrow, he has 7 days if he chooses to veto. But then he's got to have the votes. And I don't see the votes right now.
Now, when you say that it is with finance, explain exactly.
Mr. Moore's office.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, that's where stuff go to die. Mr. Moore's office, it goes to die. It just does. So it is that. So his budget did not pay, and people have to understand the difference in those. So we won't know. And when people say, well, he's going to spend this money, some things are just how the charter said we can't control. I'm not putting a budget just to vote nothing down. I sit there, listen to Candace talk all day long, doing everybody. And I don't even, turn and look away because I think it's like a nervous talk. Judy talks underneath her breath. Look, I'm ready to go. I'm not putting nothing down till I know we can get it passed. I'm not showing, I did it. I put on the floor and we put on for the 16 million, did 5 million, and they voted that down for the home repairs. They voted it down. So we now know we have to wait till August. So we don't have that much longer to go. People will begin voting by absentee ballots the end of the month. And so if you want to do something, get out and help your candidate, AC Dumas or Beverly Biggs Levy. I do not support write-in candidates. I do not. I think it's an interference. I don't do that. And so this race is too much at stake to not be clear. There are 2 people on the ballot, Beverly Biggs Levy and AC Dumas. 2 people are on the ballot. And if we want to do something for the residents, get out and help her knock doors. That's doing something for the people. Help them knock doors. They need help.
And make sure that these folks are voting.
Yep.
And more than the 500 and however much it was.
Yep. So the budget process, like y'all can go look, Flint City Charter page 63. He should get it tomorrow, and then we will go from there. We will go from there.
We do have a question from John Malley. Do you think we are in pursuit to be taken over by the state?
I don't think we don't know what our numbers are. No, I don't. I do not. I do not think that we are, but we can't continue running budgets when we don't know the numbers. Look, they didn't finish the audit from last year. Come on now. I mean, and this is the thing that we have to have transparency. Now, unless they turned it in today, but last week it was not. So when we talk about these things, the threshold we have not met. We took it back to 60 million. We took in 64. So we passed the budget a little over 60 million. We took in 64. So that should give us a surplus. He wanted 68 million, 68 point something million. And we did not pass that. I don't have it around. So we're going to see. But it is now in the resolution or the paperwork. Look, the paperwork is in Mr. Moore's office. Let's say that. Supposed to have the mayor tomorrow. He's got 7 days, so the clock get the ticking if he's gonna veto it. I don't know look, if he thought it was a great one, he would have pulled the podium up to listen. He'd have been around. He'd have had his friends around him. Okay. Mark Hunt's the 3rd ward is so important. Do y'all trust AC Doom? And that ain't my place to say that, Mark. And I'm not getting into that because I've been very clear. That's who the people. I don't live in the 3rd ward. I don't live in the 3rd ward. So 2 people are on the ballot. So I'm not taking nobody's choice away from them. Look, I got enough people mad at me right now. I don't need no extra ones. I know they got all upset about an opioid plan with the millions of dollars in there. Yeah, I want to know if you got a plan. Okay, Landon. I have not talked about what happened June the 2nd, 1st. And I haven't really watched everything. But Landon, can you come in for a minute? I know we are having some technical difficulties, everyone. We are having technical difficulties.
Yep, I'm here.
So I think I sent you 2, maybe 3 videos. Can you show? I think the first one is like 7 minutes. I think it's from the Tonya Burns show. Producer Jay had did it. Can we play that one? Because then after that one, I want to play the one with let me look. I think the other was with Terrence. I want to play the one with Terrence, and then with Mrs. Gwen Walford with her.
You said it was 7 minutes.
Is it 7 minutes?
I was gonna say not any of the ones I have. Let me see.
My bad. And y'all, we've had some technical difficulty.
Yeah, y'all gotta excuse me. I was out on the job. I had to,
Oh, appreciate you.
Hey, look, the studio don't stop. That's all I gotta say. Studio don't stop.
Say it's got to keep on going. Got to keep on going. That's Miss Walford. Let me see.
Because I have all. Okay, I got you. You talking about the council meeting?
No, then I'm the wrong. No, that's the result of that one. No, put up either of the other ones. But you got, well, surprisingly, let's put up the. I'm gonna send you the one. I'm gonna do Miss Walford first. That's the one where she is the. I'm gonna send it back to you.
You talking about where she's talking? I got the person at the podium.
She's handcuffed.
Oh, okay. I got you. Hold on one
second.
The
next will be, yeah.
Right here, right? I just want to make sure we're good. Okay. All right. I'm just making sure we're good. All right.
I've been hearing a lot of stuff. I didn't know. They told me to keep moving when I was talking. They told me I was talking to the. I wasn't listening to the people on the sidewalk. I was listening to the people on the.
What's your name, sir? Excuse me, sir. What is your badge number? Excuse me, sir. I'm asking you a question. What is your badge number? That's okay. I can walk out.
That was awful.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one that I had was only about 53 seconds. That wasn't 7 minutes, but there we go.
You're fine. Play the other one now, but hold on. When Wolford is 70 plus, I don't think it's no coincidence. I think they thought Beverly Biggs was in that car because she used to have a car that color. Because we know eventually the car that Beverly Biggs was in, her husband was thrown to the ground. He's a senior, and her car was towed. Once they found out, I feel, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to, and I'm going to say this. I placed it squarely on Police Chief Green. There's a command staff. You know, you go through the command, and they have to do what their chief tells them. He was out there that Sunday. He was out there. They were following orders. And this is what they were directed to do. There is no traffic downtown Flint on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There ain't never no traffic. And his thing, they were impeding traffic. He was carrying out the business clearly of what the mayor and what they wanted to do. They were teaching them a lesson. They were teaching Jedediah a lesson. He was teaching his own residents, Chief Green was, a lesson. This should be a proud moment of himself. I'm disgusted by what he did. You put Gwen Wolford in handcuffs because she was impeding traffic. She's a senior. You got 150 some unsolved homicides, and on a Sunday you want to pull over seniors and take their cars, handcuff them. This is your priority? Hell, catch the stalker. Well, never mind. The one stalker is my damn friend now. He told me he's going to quit calling me, harassing me. When you look at this is what he does in his energy where he had all of these police, it's disturbing. Mm-hmm. It's an abuse of Chief Green's position, and it's an abuse of Chief Green's power. It's abuse of his position and power. Chief Green should be ashamed of himself. What he should have did and could have, because he is the option. Okay, look, they're going to do this. Let's make sure, nothing's happening. Because every protest has not had an escort. Let me be clear. Or a permit. So Chief Terrence Green, don't tell that lie. I'm going to bust you out with this one. We did not have it with, what do you want to do? Let's march. Walk with me. Sheriff Chris Swanson. No, they did not. They did not have when they shut down I-75 and 69. They shut it down. They did not have one because you can't shut down the highways. We look at all of the protests that people have had, and there's more. This was to teach Jedediah and the people that were supporting him a lesson. What I think it has done has marred his trust and support with the people that he's over, the officers, and I wouldn't be surprised if they vote him a vote of no confidence. I would not be surprised because this is the abuse of position and power. Let's play the next one, please, Landon.
Oh, yeah.
I don't live here now, but
You realize this is peaceful church, folks, for the most part. I'm just telling you. This is crazy. This is crazy, man.
Can't impede traffic. We get calls.
They weren't impeding traffic. All that people are with us.
What I'm trying to tell you is that we get calls.
I'm going to FOIA request. I'm going to FOIA request them 911 calls. I'm that guy, bud. I strip qualified immunity for a living from tyrants. I can't stand them. There's a fine line between a law enforcement officer and a fucking tyrant. Illegal search and seizure. Got it on camera.
They stole the plate, so you can't get the plate number.
That's Miss Beverly's car.
Like 15 other numbers.
That's Miss Beverly's car. This is the one these idiots left in gear. They pulled the man out of his car, left it in gear, and then he went smashing down the fucking lane. How you like that?
5, 6 at a time, slamming 90-year-old people. They're proud of themselves. Look,
right.
They're fucking proud of themselves.
Legit.
Beating up 90-year-old people.
Hey, how many officers were held innocent in the Nuremberg trials? How many? Zero.
Fucking less.
I suggest you start looking into it.
You're proud of yourself, Mr. Stillwell. Hope you're proud of yourself.
Stillwell likes it. He likes being a tyrant. So we're gonna just see what we got footage of. Maybe we caught him in something, and we can get that qualified immunity. We'll see how much we like that. You like security jobs? They hire retired bad cops. You might get a job at Walmart. Probably won't have a retirement, though. Right on. Hey, he knows his Constitution in and out. Pull him over. Fucking take that immunity. I won't even have to do it. You think it's a game? You fuckers think it's a game? Oh, look at Metcalf in the front. Look at that fucking faggot right there. Nobody likes you, you ugly bitch. Cut your mullet!
Okay. Tonya Burns does not approve the language.
The views of the current video that we played are not the current views of Tonya Burns. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you got it. Oh, look, I didn't know that was in there. Okay. So Jason, that was Jason. We the people die for. Yeah. And those are not my views with that part. Not that part at all. So I want to say you had Chief Green out there directing this.
Mm-hmm.
How bad is this?
It's terrible.
Michigan State Police released a statement and saying basically we're not involved in this garbage. We got nothing to do with it. We just showed up and hey, we went home. Sheriff's Department's like, we out. Y'all on some garbage, some BS. No, we're not doing this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chief Green stood out there and tried to normalize this abnormal behavior as he had cars towed. He
saying that they received calls that people were impeding traffic. No.
The police were impeding traffic.
Yes, they were.
That part.
They absolutely were. From start to finish, even when he started at City Hall, walking down. I have rewatched the video several times, as you know. But you don't see much traffic. You see,
that's the first time I watched that part in full. I've not watched that one.
It's a lot to take in when you review it, and it's a lot.
So Mrs. Gilchrist said all we needed was water hoses. That is correct, and some dogs, because that's how he treated the residents of the city of Flint, Chief Green, and Mayor Neely. Under the direction, and so let's go on to the next one. Please and thank you. And remind you, we are having some technical difficulty. Tom Pajorni, I don't know what's on the agenda for tomorrow. I do not know. So I don't know. They were adding some things. I was told it was going to be a long agenda because, they voted to, for the first time, I did vote to take off time in July. I did for the first time. And my reason was the officers are getting, the residents they ain't playing with them. But this is all on Chief Green. And the residents need a break. They need a break to kind of regroup. And the officers are being used. And they're not, for the majority of the ones I talked are not against the residents. They're being under commands that ordered to do this stuff. They're being ordered.
Little Miss Flint even said that on her Twitter page.
Oh, did
she? Tell when she was put out. She said I could tell it was obvious that he didn't want to do it. That he was actually very nice, friendly, because people were asking, was she okay? And she even said it. She's like, it was obvious that their officer didn't really want to be involved. Loosely stated, not to quote her, but yeah, she even said it was just so obvious that they were sick of it. I mean, he's how they responded with Liddell.
Yeah, well, we know Liddell was sitting up there calling the chief, Councilwoman Karen or Keisha. I mean, she calling over there. I mean, Karen, so they're right. And so if they don't comply, they're getting demoted. If they don't comply, they're being reprimanded. If they don't comply with throwing all the residents out, they get reprimanded. They're getting demoted. They're getting chastised. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's not what they're here for, because they're not carrying out their foolish orders. But that is what is happening. Liddell is using them. The mayor's using them. And Chief Green is ordering them. It's just like Hasselbrink. They sent them up there to Hasselbrink for some seniors moving flower pots and park benches that belong to them.
Yes.
It's too much.
Ms. Gilchrist brought up a good point where she said they had asked the MSP, Michigan State Police, to join in with them beforehand. That says it was a planned attack.
Yeah. It was planned. They had a paddy wagon.
It was targeted because they went for specific vehicles. Not every vehicle was pulled over.
Nope.
Not everyone was pulled over.
Miss Wolford's daughter was behind her. Mm-hmm. And her daughter, she was like, and I called to check on her. She left me a little voicemail, and when we talk about it, let them people, it was, the seniors can't walk. Everybody else was on the sidewalk. Who are you really hurting? Yeah. Who are you really hurting? I would not be surprised with Chief Green's officers being abused by Liddell, Candace, Judy, Mayor Neely, that they don't vote him a vote of no confidence. They don't like the word, but they are being weaponized against 4 of the council members and the residents. They're being directed. They're being told to execute and to enforce a non-existent public safety plan. Mm-hmm. It don't even exist.
It doesn't even exist.
You can't enforce what Liddell and scribbled out on paper. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. Her and Chief Green. Chief Green didn't have enough discernment to sit his behind at home. He steps out here for this BS on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. But all the mess. Look, work on your comprehensive public safety plan that includes opioids. How about that? You got a lot of work to do.
Gang task force.
That part. Mm-hmm. And so these officers, the looks on their faces, the residents gave them the hell back that they've been giving them, the hate that they've been giving them. And residents are like, okay, well, we know who Liddell, what was the one guy? He was giving her the finger and she said, that's your warning. He said, okay, thank you. That's your second warning. They set him up for that. So, and Liddell, she treats people as if they're her children. He said, thank you. That's your second. Candace does the same thing. Exact same thing. How they did Michael Clack. The man in the blue shirt stood up. Royal blue shirt.
God,
you can't miss the blue shirt.
That was horrible.
And the fact that they carried it out and executed that garbage to where they gave him a warning when he shouldn't have been given a warning. They don't mind targeting people. They don't mind accusing people of things that they haven't done. Mm-hmm. They don't mind. Not at all. Landon, are you still having technical problems?
I'm trying. I'm here though. What we got? What we got?
I want to put up the one with Terrence. Did you have that one?
Wait a minute.
Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop! Stop it! Stop it! My God, what are you doing? You know what, Don? What?
Tonya, somebody need to get Tonya Burns down here. Tonya Burns, if you're watching this, you need to get down here. And,
Hey, Flake, get on here! Get on here, Flake! Look what they do to these elderly gentlemen! In Pittsburgh! He wants to be the man's dude! There we go! We got a badge number now! What's your reasonable articulable suspicion you have of a crime he's committed? Police brutality!
Tonya Burns!
Police brutality!
This is terrible, y'all. Terrible. Hey, they say I know they said let's get the chance.
Y'all dirty! Y'all some dirty!
So you have Chief Green there directing his officers to do this stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's just too much.
He's there. They're following orders. So they arrested him, put him in the back of the paddy wagon.
Sideways. They dragged
sideways.
him. Yes, he was.
And the paddy wagon takes him, I guess, to the jail or wherever. They tell him to change. And I didn't know this until yesterday. He changes into the orange jumpsuit, Terrence Levy, a senior, Beverly Biggs' husband. They were clearly targeting her. And they thought that red car was Beverly's. They were going to teach them a lesson, abusing their position and their power. So he did this. They take him down there. He puts on an orange jumpsuit. They tell him he puts it on. He was never fingerprinted. Never fingerprinted. Puts on the orange jumpsuit. They tell him as soon as he puts it on, 5 minutes later, okay, take it off. They call someone, Kevin Tay, to meet them, the police, to meet Kevin Tay in the parking lot of the farmer's market. Are y'all hearing me?
Wait a minute. No. Wait. Okay.
Hold on. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Kevin Tay shows up at the farmer's market, and he has Mr. Levy with him, Terrence Levy with them. They let him off and gave him to Kevin Tay. I'm gonna be respectful because Mr. Gilchrist on here, but expletives fill in the bleep blank bleep blank the blank the blank blank blank. They never fingerprinted him and then gave him the ticket.
Was he Mirandized? Did he get read his rights? His Miranda rights?
I don't know.
Was this a proper? Because during that you don't hear any of that. I mean, and of course we don't really see him get taken to the paddy wagon. Was he read his rights?
I don't know, but I got to look through video for this week. So y'all may not get all of that to the, how I break it down. So, I just, you watch that. And I have not watched all of it. I have not. And so when we look at what happened to him, you put him in the orange jumpsuit. This is to teach him a lesson. If you do this again, this is what we can do with our power and our position. We own this city. Like they a mob. Like literally like they a mob.
They do.
And then they have someone pick him up in a parking lot. He has they towed their car. Then it caused Beverly. Then the car was not in park, so the car rolled and hit other cars, and it had $7,000 worth of damage. Beverly had to pay $1,000 deductible to get the rental car she was in, because someone had shot a bullet through her car, has put nails. She's had 5 flat tires, and someone slashed the tires of that rental car. Okay. And she was told that something's going to happen to her family if she's elected. October 14, 2024 was a conspiracy to incite a riot. Chief Green hasn't done a damn thing about that at all.
Sure hasn't.
Nothing.
Sure hasn't.
I got somebody call me every day. Every day. I'm in trying to be hung. You can't solve nothing else, but you want to take on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and you target people. He showed himself to be an ass hat.
Negligent,
his officers, he
incompetent.
put them in a compromising predicament and position because they got to work with the public.
Zero
He don't.
compassion.
He ain't out there pulling people over. He not out there talking and dealing with, and he is not, barely come to city council. But this is what he does. So they write him a ticket, impeding traffic. Okay. Where was that car at? Pulled over to the side, inside those white lines.
In the parking lane.
Yes.
The parking lane.
Yes. And so when we look at that, they were targeted. I'm going to show them. I mean, I didn't grow up out of elementary to be a grown ass man, that this is what you do with public dollars in the public position when you have defied the public trust. Public trust is gone. Chief Green has rendered himself to be useless as a chief now. You put him on seniors. Then you was telling the people, quit talking to the people on the sidewalk. You can't talk in public to the people on the sidewalk. And then they put up a barrier. They called in the U of M police, the Michigan State police, and other officers. Like this was that violent. Can you put up some of them pictures with the police showing a little standoff? You would have thought this shit was in Selma, Alabama, or the Edmund Pettus Bridge. You would have thought this was the lunch counters at the Woolworth. You would have thought this was people going in to try to register to vote. You have a black police chief sicking his officers on other people and seniors.
And it mainly seniors. These were the ones who were affected in the council chamber. Wasn't
Miss Walford's children are, I think her daughter is a police officer, her son-in-law. He turned back as a black man, used this on his own people. And his officers were following orders. Most officers, I've talked to some of them. You don't have to follow an unlawful order. But what they have said is, I got bills to pay. I got kids in college. I got a family. Because you can get fired. So officers are being demoted, by the way, because they're refusing to throw people out of Flint City Council chambers. And people going to continue to raise hell. They need to be off from the 4th of July because people are ready to raise hell and tear the roof off of it. People are tired. And the officers, we had 6 the last time in the tactical gear in there, riot gear. So they acted like Flint is so thugged out. You've been treating them and throwing them out because what? I got to stand and I'm holding it up with my camera on it. And so because I'm holding it up with my camera on it, I want you arrested.
Threat.
I want you arrested for that. Literally for having the camera up on the stand and holding it. Literally. Because you clapping. It's too loud.
You gotta go.
Or you coughing, which is to drown them out because they don't want to hear their BS.
Or saying thank you for my warning.
Thank you will get you thrown out. Or doing this and not saying anything has had someone thrown out. Telling people to use a public safety plan that does not exist, is not a law, is not an ordinance, has never been voted on, has not followed the process of when we enact a new rule, have been thrown out. So Chief Green, to be the chief officer, the police chief, is running a gangster. He running gangster.
Well, that's why he can't have a safety plan. Because the plan would have to work against his own force that he keeps directing to do all this.
They don't even want to do it.
They're
They're like, let us talk to the people. We're building rapport with the people. When you intervening like this and doing this, let us talk to the people. Because he put what he did on Tuesday and every other day after Monday, they should have canceled literally the council meeting on Tuesday. For the next, they should have canceled it. Because if you didn't think that wasn't gonna be a hot garbage mess, they cussed them out for 2 hours. They called them everything that it was. They read them. And the sad part is those officers did not want to put them out. Let's go on with the meeting. Liddell, Candace, so focused on what the residents are doing that they can't do their damn job up there. I just hear something. I hear something. I hear something. Is that something? Worry about what's up here. You got a budget.
Stop yelling out, RL.
Stop
yelling out.
That's gonna be your warning.
Yes, all of that. And it's a distraction because they can't effectively do their job without making sure that they create chaos somewhere. It's like they cannot operate without foolishness.
Correct. So we have had Metcalf was removed because of Liddell. Villarreal's going to be removed because if Villarreal got to the point where he like, look, she asked us to put them out for some BS. They're putting him back down to patrol. Can you put the picture up, Alston? Can you put that back up? Liddell over there, literally, she was stomping around. Thank you. And Metcalf and Villarreal, I think they said Metcalf said this is too much. They said he retired for good now. I haven't talked to him. I did get that today that he said he ain't doing this. You know, he's not putting his life at risk, and he has a business and he has to build a relationship with the community. And Villarreal, who has worked with them, she stomped around, showed her behind that whole meet. She called Chief Green. She called everybody. You know, she wanted them removed for, was it holding the camera or something stupid? Was it clapping? And they're like, well, he didn't do anything. What are you talking about? I want him out. See, she abuses her position and her power. You don't go against the people. She goes against the people.
Yeah.
Right. What we're going to do is have order. You all out of order, Liddell. The food stamp bridge card, okay? Your neighbor, okay?
My gosh.
Your card. Yes. Yes, it's a recording that I got with Councilman Mays on it, and I can play it. So that because Councilman Mays had it. So don't try to tell everyone else like you following the straight and narrow. This, like she told the lie that Mayor Weaver was never there at budget time. You're just lying. I put the picture up. Mayor Weaver was there at budget, just lying. Just can't help herself. So when we talk about these things, you know, you get tired, and the people are tired. But what happened Sunday with Chief Green using the police, giving them the commands and the orders to do what they did, he broke down the trust between the officers and the community. He broke the trust that we didn't have anything that was going on with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. We had none of that. Everything had always been peaceful. Police Chief Green broke the trust of this community. Through every riot, Flint didn't have anything. He abused his position and his power by making his officers follow commands for something that was a ticketable offense. A ticketable offense, impeding traffic. They were over in the white area. And he did this, and he told cars to show them. It's going to be a lawsuit. Yeah. And it needs to be, it's going to be, and they need to go after him. Like Ray Barton, Fire Chief Ray Barton went after Mayor Neely personally. They need to go after Chief Green. And he's out there. He's out there on a Sunday. For that?
That's disgusting. And as a black
That's
man,
crazy.
how can you? No, mm-mm. It's disgusting.
So I know we've
Ms.
been on
Gilchrist, I
almost.
agree. She said she was in Baltimore living. That's why she didn't see Mayor Weaver.
Oh.
I agree. I agree.
Okay. So listen. Look, Bob Gallagher sent me this. I guess it's a tornado outlook. I need the weather to be stable. Okay. Yeah. So if you're in the city of Flint, he sent this. I guess it's severe weather. My TV ain't on the news. Y'all know it ain't. So I do want to say this, that as we all work together, Chief Green will, and he should have a vote of no confidence. He broke the trust with those people. Why are people mad in the city of Flint? One, the city has been poisoned. Two, people have lost their loved ones. Three, no one has been paid for the water crisis settlement, and they don't know when they will get the money. They don't know. Four, we have a high poverty rate. Five, literacy is a serious issue here. Six, they keep throwing residents out for laws that have not been broken. Police can only enforce laws. There's no law for some of the things that repeatedly, week after week, as you had Liddell standing up there, there wasn't no law broken. There is no public safety plan. And I hope they sue the shit out of them, because they need to stop, because they don't listen. You know, when you spending somebody else's money, it's a little different. When it's coming out of yours, it's like, whoa.
Right.
And so when we look at what he's done and why the people are mad, people have a reason to be angry. And we have an opioid problem. We have an opioid epidemic. We have a gun violence epidemic. We have a gun violence epidemic. 10 children were shot last year, several of them fatally. We have violence against children.
Yeah.
It's an epidemic.
Children
But
are
you don't
missing.
hear Chief Green talking about the things that matter in this community. He's busy on a Sunday afternoon arresting seniors and people who are on the sidewalks, people who just want to be a part of something to show solidarity, a part of saying no more crime, no more taking us for granted. Finish the service lines. We want our water clean, to smell clean, to look clean. You know, we want to be able to bathe without our hair falling out and our skin itchy and having rashes and boils. People have a right. And when you don't understand the plight of the Flint resident, you don't have any business being chief. We have people come from other communities to stand in solidarity. I don't know if that made you mad, because he had friends to come, but you know what? I hope even more come, because if they need me over in Harvey or Dalton, I'm going to go to support them. We don't have boundaries. We're calling people outsiders. When we did I didn't, I wasn't born in the March on Washington. People came from everywhere. They said, if you can't get here by bus, by train or plane, do whatever you got to do, but be here. And people were there. It is still the largest assembly, peaceful assembly, was the March on Washington in America's history. Chief Green officers, and I don't blame him, should have a vote of no confidence. He's had them go to Hasselbrink on the seniors. They had them told them they was going to start booking them and cuffing them. He put them on them at Hasselbrink. I showed up then. He put them on them at downtown. I told Jedediah I was going to meet him at the amphitheater.
Yeah. And it just went to hell.
That went
quickly. I think we were on the phone actually, and you were trying to get, because it was like you were getting ready to go to the amphitheater, and it was like, okay, Tonya, this is making a turn. It should not. Like, I don't know what's happening, and before you know it, it was just pure chaos.
It was
Chief
chaos.
Green has put the officers. He's put their humanity on. It's a very dangerous game he's playing with his officers, because not only are these are men and women, young and old, who have to get out of that uniform at some point.
Yeah.
And they have to go out into the community and face people who are their neighbors, other residents, and whatnot. So when you put them on these dummy missions to do these things, and you're holding their pretty much holding their paychecks and their employment above their heads, that's a form of duress, if you ask me.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, that's a form of duress. So you're putting them in this position to be hurt or harmed by others too.
And they're getting demoted.
And they're getting demoted.
We know that they've been demoted. Officers have been demoted.
Like, it's a bad position that you're putting these people in, because you're playing with their humanity.
Their livelihood.
Yeah, you're playing with their livelihoods, their humanity. These people have spouses, they have children or whatnot. And it's like, you can't do that against the police officers. I do hope that they do stand for themselves and for the community, because they're still residents when they take that uniform off.
And they are. And so, I've been full disclosure. My prior, he retired from, Ken Burns retired from the Flint Police Department. The disgust that he had, he called and told me that he's seen is just, he's never seen it before. And the fact that, hold on a second, Landon, I just sent you one. If you can get that one queued up with the timestamp. That one, you already got the video though, but the disgust, the lack of professionalism. So Ken was fired. He was fired because it was a rogue police chief. At that time, they had women officers that were on the force, just coming on really. And so, and this group of officers are still close to this day. And they wanted to blame and lie and was told to do some stuff, not that one. Yeah, that's what I want you to put that video up, but that was the timestamp. So the video was up further. And so they wanted him to lie on the women. Tell me he wasn't gonna do it. Tell me he had to do it, because he was their sergeant, and he wouldn't do it. And Ken's brother is an attorney, which I don't think they didn't know that part. And he had been an arbitrator for the courts. And so he was like, I'm not doing that. They want me to go against the women. They didn't want, women really weren't welcome, And that's another reason I asked Chief Green, have you fixed that woman's locker room? Because I know when it was done. Okay. And how it was. Right. And so he got fired. Because he told you, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna lie on these women. They got kids. Some were single mothers. I'm not gonna do that. And they said, okay, well, we're gonna fire you. He said, good, because I'm gonna take you to court and I'm gonna win. He took him to court and he won, because you don't have to follow unlawful orders. His brother sued him, and they made him pay his attorney fees. They had to pay his brother, because what they did was unlawful. It was unlawful. And so the officers, when you're saying now we're seeing them getting demoted for enforcing a public safety bullshit, because it's not real.
It's not real.
It's something that him and Liddell then came up with. It's not even real. And so when we look at this, what they're being told to do, Chief Green, you got a problem. I know it's case law on there for a fact. And the last name is going to be Burns on it, because he sued and he won. And then afterwards, guess what he could do? Whatever he wanted to, because he was then protected. He was not willing to go out against the officers that were underneath him. He wasn't going to give them directions to put them in harm. He did what he was supposed to do. He did what his oath told him to do, and then was fired.
I hope they're listening.
And he won. And then he went back and did whatever the hell he wanted to when he retired. They couldn't tell him that.
The officers are listening. I hope any of them are listening.
And listen, they be watching. And so that is the thing that, and people say, well, the gap. Was it tough during his time when he got fired? Absolutely. Because then he was raising 2 daughters, and he had family, and you know who helped to save him? and would do things for other Flint police officers. So that bond that they have still to this day is strong. They would, they would show up, they would do everything because he would not give them a direct command that was against the law and to break their oath. And they all still stand in solidarity. They still do. And they stand together. That friendship with the men and the women, and it's black and white. Mm-hmm. Now, his one good friend, Jim Hamilton, when Jim Hamilton, he was married to a prosecutor, he still is Denise Hamilton, prosecutor, good friends. And so you make and you keep a friendship that is close, because he was not going to send them out there and give them an order that was against the law. And he was fired from it. But he won and came back and talked mega crap, didn't care. He was like, I'm going to do my job. What you can't do is fire me no more. I'm now in a protected class. Right. And then you get that whistleblower stuff too. Come on.
Yeah, there you go.
So Chief Green is abusing his position and his power. He is. But when it leads to this, because they're up there just to, I don't think this is the one that we need. Because Quincy should not be in this one. That I want you to do, Landon. It's going to be 6/2/2025. Oh, let me find it. I just screenshot it. I know he's having to, and this is like our last one we're gonna go over, because when you understand why people were so angry, and I completely understood it. I sent it back, Landon, for the right one, and the timestamp is on there. So people are angry. They have a right to be. They live in poor working conditions. We got tall grass everywhere. Save-A-Lot ain't never mopped up their entrance. They ain't been paid for their water settlement. The schools are difficult to deal with. Is that it? I have to. Yeah, that's it. That's the one I want. Yes.
Okay, my bad. Let me know when you're ready. I got everything ready.
Okay,
and again, my bad, y'all. It's not me. It's the people working on the Xfinity. So I just found that out. So it's not me. Just letting y'all know.
So when people they say why I'm angry, they got a reason. The schools, our literacy rate, we look at all the things, and then they come into the one place where they need to be heard, and they're shut down, they're disrespected, and they're thrown out.
And laughed at.
And laugh, absolutely. And talk to condescending. Every single meeting. So it's the hate that they were giving the community, that the community was giving back to them. Because for 2 years since Liddell's been chairing, it's been pure hell. She disrespects even the officers. You see her over in the corner. Councilwoman Keisha was over there calling Police Chief Green and the mayor telling. Like both of those officers, Metcalf, have been demoted back to patrol, and then Officer Villarreal is going to patrol. I think 20-something next week. She don't care. It's what she wants. Self-serving, purely. So the hate that they give, when people saw Shalita Savage come up, I hadn't met her before. That for 2 hours, the community gave them hell.
Hell, sure did, and they deserved every minute of it.
But they've been giving it to the community every meeting.
2 years.
Liddell put out her resident who was sleeping in her car because her roof was leaking and she didn't have enough buckets. She was using pots. And because she was on oxygen, the air was bad. She was sleeping in her car. She was on the walker. Liddell put her out. She put her out. Lives on, was it Patterson Street? Second Ward, she put her out. She didn't put so many people out. So when that brawl happened, or whatever, it was a lot. Let's play Miss Savages, please.
How y'all doing? My name is Shalita Janae Savage, for the ones that don't know. And yes, I'm going to be up here being a motherfucking savage about this shit. Leon, the fact that you want to sit over here with Cruella DeVille and laugh in our motherfucking faces like this shit's a motherfucking game, both of you bitches need to resign. Fuck you and fuck that mop-head ass bitch. To this beautiful lady right here that is in charge of the 5th Ward, I like everything I'm seeing that you're doing. You are upholding and uplifting your community. You are for your people, and I can appreciate it. You, Miss Lady, Miss Tonya, I feel the same exact way about you, okay? I have watched it. I have seen it. Y'all ugly motherfuckers made me jump out my motherfucking semi-truck to come address you bitches. And you trailer park trash ass motherfucker right here, yeah, you, east side bitch, the one that don't give a fuck about the meth epidemic that's going on in this motherfucker. Bitch, you need to resign, ho. And over here to this old, I'm in the slave house ass nigga bitch over here, Miss Candace. Yes, massa, I see massa. What you need me to do, massa ass bitch? Where you motherfuckers pitch the tent at is where I shall have this motherfucking circus at. Y'all got me fucked up. How the fuck can 900 motherfucking police officers come to a peaceful fucking protest, but my fucking 8-year-old son was held hostage for 21 days? I called 911 over 3,000 motherfucking times. And you bitches didn't help me do shit to get my son. You want to know what I had to do? I had to go get a fucking judge. You want to know what the Flint Police Department told me? They told me that it was a probate and civil fucking matter for an 8-year-old. But you bitches can come rip a goddamn elderly person out of a motherfucking car? Are you fucking serious? Eat my ass and suck my dick I don't got. Are you fucking serious? I know you motherfuckers is lying. And then the fact that there is a $2.6 million account somewhere for our educational system and arts program, and you bitches can't tell us a motherfucking thing. If y'all don't go ahead and fill this 3rd Ward motherfucking seat with Bev, because I'm from the 3rd Ward. I swear to God, what that movie say? Mississippi burning? We need to start lynching some of you motherfuckers and burning y'all bitches out.
I was not expecting that. Miss Savage's heavy weight boxing champion, Clarissa Shields' sister. She is 6'3". I ain't trying to make her mad, okay?
Listen, I love her so much. I love her so much.
Listen, she is. I said, so let me tell you. So we had the brawl. We got one more video. I was asked to go get her. I said I had to. I was like, look, this was y'all's thing. I didn't create any of that. And I was like, I was asked numerous times, could I stop it? Now, y'all know first thing they gonna do, Tonya Burns up over there, you know, oh, Tonya Burns interfering with the police. Tonya Burns. So Tonya Burns said, because I didn't have enough. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
When she went off on Candace, when I tell you it was soothing to my soul. Oh, it's just warm. I just felt it was all in my shondo. I loved it every moment of it, because I always say she mammies for white supremacy. And I've been saying it for so long. And to hear her, this yes a massa ass bia was just no one could have written a better script. Like, you couldn't even write. Like,
I was like, where did she come from? So if Michael Clack is still on here, Mike Clack said, no, she about what she said. He was like, I'm telling you.
Oh, Jasmine, it was
Selena
beautiful.
don't play.
Oh, Jasmine, it was just beautiful. Just the way it
Wait a
flowed.
minute.
There no
Dr.
script could be
Pajoni said
written.
cathartic as hell. So
It
as
was,
soon as you
it was so
Jasmine
soothing
him
to
said
my
no
soul.
lies detectives.
This was poetry. It was beautiful. I mean, and she just one by one. You gonna get it.
Miss Grills, you Kristen Savage was savage.
She was.
She was.
It was beautiful. It was just
Mike Clack, you should have gave more of a warning. Your warning wasn't enough. He was like, no, for real, she don't play. I said, she don't play. She don't play. I was like, I just had this. At that point, I just had to say,
Big Shady.
Look, I didn't even have no pearls. I was like, let me clutch my pearls. I wasn't wearing no pearls.
Oh, I loved it.
They have treated the residents so disrespectful for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, I'm blaming you for Candace still. Dennis. Michael Clark, you needed to give a dissertation. She needs to come with like a warning label. So after the brawl, it was during the brawl, 2 people I went to talk to. Chester with baby boy, is it Fat Boy? What's the rib place? Big Baby Ribs. Chester. I went to talk to Chester, asked him, I need you to leave. One of the officers was over there, and I had been on the phone with, I'm not going to disclose who. I needed him to leave to kind of, break that down. Then I went over to Miss Savage, and I had to look up to her because she like a whole foot plus taller than me. I said, look, please, I need you to please look at me, because them eyes was glazed over. She was about that. I said, I need you to come with me, please. I need just please. I don't want you to be arrested. Please come with me.
Mm-hmm.
And she came over and I was talking to her. She was like, I got to get my best friend. Her best friend is Jason, We the People. What an unlikely. And he was like, yeah, how you like my best friend? I said, now I get that, because
now it makes sense. It makes total sense.
Right. And so I had asked, and I needed to get her to, I said, well, I need you to go home or to leave. Do you have a ride? And then Free Daddy came over. She says, Tonya, I'll take her home if she don't have, I will make sure. Because I needed to get her out of there so we can diffuse the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, the whole, I have not watched all of them. Can you play the last one? I sent you one. I don't know if you got that one. I'm not gonna call it the brawl, the upset. It was, I don't know what is the good name to call it.
What was
Tyranny Day for Flint? I mean,
on the BJs they called it the 25 riots.
The what?
The 25 riots, or the riots of 25.
Riots of 25. Because there was a lot going on, and some of them officers were saying, they need to just let us talk to the people. This is not the way to do it. Because look, they had to come back to the next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have Monday, you didn't mess. And where was she? Chief Green was nowhere around. He done commanded these people to do all this, and he wasn't nowhere around. Nowhere.
But he was.
So let's play the Flint riots.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it.
Scary as hell. That bitch scary.
After the lawsuit.
Landon, I just sent you another one. That's the one I meant to send you. Maybe I didn't, because this one gets a different look. It's so many angles and so much was going on. And then I hear somebody say, because I hadn't seen that one, hadn't seen it. Did someone say let it cook? Like, that was about that. It was actually, that was very dangerous. It was very dangerous
for many reasons. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and to see that happening was so disturbing. Okay, let me know when you're ready. This is the 7 minutes. Look, I knew something was 7.
For real. For real. Excuse me. Oh,
All the way up. Ain't nobody scared of you either, man. You want some straight bullshit. Ain't nobody scared of you. Yeah. That's all right. That nigga felt me too. You felt what it is. You felt what it is. I understand that. He quit because of it. It's very difficult for us to try to.
You're useless, Judy. It's all your fault. You're useless.
I don't. That's why I come in here and I gotta talk to people. That's why I want to do that man right there, I was absolutely. But they gotta keep doing it. They gotta keep doing it. We got to.
Hey, I don't mind if you record. You just gotta move this way, okay?
A lot of y'all still think, you know what I'm saying? I understand y'all have to utilize. What's the word? They're trying to figure it out. Yeah.
That was a lot.
It was.
That was a lot. It was a sad day for Flint. Sunday was a sad day, disappointing. Residents should never have to feel that angry to where it just comes out like that. That's very poor governance. And Chief Green should have never did what he did Monday. He could have sent them a bill. You know, he could have had, he had other recourses to do. Pulling them over, yanking people out the car, two seniors, not even arresting them because we're not sure because they arrested Mr. Levy, had him put in the orange jumpsuit. 5 minutes later, told him to take it off and wrote him a ticket. We're going to show you a lesson. Mm-hmm. Abuse of position and power. Then tell him we're going to take you to the parking lot over at Farmers Market and not call his wife, but release him to a private citizen.
Mm-hmm. I did not hear him read his rights. Yeah, and I would like to know if he was actually Mirandized. That would be interesting to know. Yeah, to put him in a jumpsuit and then tell him to come back out is very odd. And then to release, like, all of that is not normal. It's
targeted, right? So this stuff is crazy. So there is so much more video, and a lot of this I'm just watching today. Mm-hmm. And thanks to producer Jay, he had come down from Atlanta. He produces my Saturday show and other shows, and a lot of this footage he got. I don't think he ever thought this would happen, that little Flint was going to jump off like that at all. It's embarrassing because they had another opportunity. Let them do the peaceful march and they were going to the amphitheater on a Sunday. Low traffic all throughout Flint on Sunday. Every day. We don't have traffic jams here. We just don't. We have the cities that are made for, but we just don't have it. And so the fact that he decided to do this on a Sunday, and then Monday, it's like him setting his officers up because everything's clear in everyone's head. This is what happened last week. This is what happened. When we talk about what happened, they watched a senior citizen thrown to the ground with his face to the bricks. A senior citizen told she was handcuffed if she was going to be arrested and in a police officer's car or detained. Those are the images that people saw. And the fact that people for 2 years have been thrown out of council chambers illegally for things that are even written or passed or over stuff that they cannot enforce. What you won't do is get in there is your First Amendment rights. They make up the rights as they go.
Correct.
As they go.
Incompetent leadership. That's what happens when you have incompetent leadership.
Absolutely.
Negligent leadership.
Absolutely.
Leadership that is ego driven.
So
no compassion, just terrible, empty people.
So I feel sorry for the residents, first of all, and for Mr. Terrence Levy and Mrs. Gwen Wolford. That should have never happened. Should never happen. Debbie Thornton, I believe, was hit by an officer. That should have never happened. And she was punched in the chest. That should have never happened. And I haven't seen all the other videos with everything. But to all the people who were injured, I am sorry that happened. Sorry that Chief Green commanded his officers to follow orders for something on Sunday that rolled over onto Monday. It's very poor leadership. Very poor leadership. So anything that you want to close. Michael Clackett said something. He said he spoke to the officer the next meeting. He said he knew that they were wrong. He is cool. He didn't want to be there. The one that you cussed out, Mr. Clack. Michael Clack that you cussed out. And that wasn't just the only one. Clack was on. There's another one because where I was standing at, he was over there. I'm like, man. And we were flooded. Officers were flying across the grass. I haven't seen Amari's. She's now grown. She's a teenager. I think she's graduated. Miss Flint, little Miss Flint. I haven't seen her video. I'm gonna have to take a look at hers. I haven't had a desire to see them because this is too much.
It's a lot. It's traumatic. It's traumatic for the residents to see. Even after it happened, even in talking to you and having conversations, I was like, this is stuff that's gonna it's gonna take time to process this, I think.
Yeah. And it's too much.
Yeah. Julina M, yes, she was punched in the chest, and that is how that young man that was hazed, that's how he died.
So we have one of the ladies, the first one, I forget her name, because I don't know if that's her husband or friend. I can't remember. So I apologize because I know she follows me on Facebook. But she stood up in front of Shalita first. Like, it's a mountain, I will not be moved. And she didn't move. She was like, and she did not move. And when you got Black people and white people, Protestants, Catholics, and Baptists, and everybody coming together, you got a problem. Mayor Neely and Chief Green, you have a problem. When you lose control of not only the council chambers, which aren't yours, but of the streets and of the public, you lose. You lose. They have a problem. And those officers were put in a terrible predicament. They just want to go home every day. They just want to go home. They don't want to be there with that garbage. They don't want to be there. And then Chief Green demoting people. Shame. I don't even think you can shame him. I really don't.
No.
He owes this public an apology. You can't shame him. He got real stuff he could be doing. But he up there on the Sunday arresting people for stupid stuff. Gunshots every single day. He did the same thing up the Hasselbrink.
They were shooting in the background while they were there.
When I was recording, they were pow, 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 pow. You sure did at Hasselbrink. Yep. How dare you take those flower pots you bought? How dare you take that? Yeah, okay. And so y'all know how I feel. I don't believe in police assault and police brutality. And I'm not blaming the cops, the officers, and many of them don't know. You don't have to follow unlawful orders. Even with Liddell telling them it's in the police public safety plan. Ain't no such damn thing. No, not at all. So we have covered a lot. We gon' I said an hour and a half. Man, we didn't get into the concerned passes, but I'm gonna be back on another day.
Yep.
I'm gonna be back on another day. But this is just crazy. So listen, I believe in peace. I was troubled about what happened. I was worried about not only our residents, I was worried that the officers were sent there with unlawful orders. It just doesn't work. And a lot of them didn't even want, like Mike Clack said, they didn't even want to be there. You know, I'm sorry that Debbie got punched. I'm sorry that Miss Levy got drugged out of his car. I'm sorry that Miss Walford got handcuffed and put in the car. And then the officer gonna tell her, now you tell me thank you for putting your keys there. Tell me thank you. That's you're supposed to say thank you. See, Tiny Burns would have been down in the jail. I would have been in the jail. He would have been. So
this is my car now.
Oh, that's another one. Yes.
Oh no, this is my car now.
Yeah, that was rude. And that is the lack of professionalism and training. But how can you do what's right when your chief telling you to show your ass with wrong orders? And he out there directing it. I mean, what you expect? He was out there. That's the sad part. That's the sad part. So listen to everybody who has just joined in. If I didn't call your name, Merck Simpsons, B. Marie, Berta Baby, Tasha Lynn, and thank you, Patrick Jean, for doing what you do. Kawana, Angela Lynette, Berta Baby, JP6, of course, Michael Clack, who was cussing out people, Drew Lena.
Thank you, Berta.
Mark Hutchinson. Oh my God. Who
Bishop
else?
T. Priestley Flowers. What's up?
Bishop T. Hey, what's up, Bishop? Angela Lynette, Hollywood Herb 256. Oh my God.
The unconcerned pastors. I know that's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that later in the week. Tasha Lynn, like I said, y'all got a lot of comments. Dr. Padroni, Berta Baby, Big Shady 11.
Big Shady popped in late.
He did. Big Shady.
Love you too, Berta.
Who else? Eddie Gray. And look, and my phone ain't gonna go all the way back. So to everybody who popped in, you know, we have a meeting tomorrow. Are they gonna be throwing everybody out? They are.
Yes, it's gonna be a long one tomorrow, and the agenda's probably gonna be long.
It's going to be long because they want off in July. It's already gonna be long because they don't remember they want off. But the public needs it off in the office. Hell, I need it off.
Y'all need off. That craziness.
Gutter
y'all
Black.
Need off. Gutter Black. Good night, Gutter.
So.
Big Shady said he's coming to Flint next month.
But Big Shady, make sure you let me know when you come coming. So listen, I want to say thank you to each and everyone, and thank you, Sheena. We went 11 hours. 11 hours. Lord have mercy, we went 3 hours.
Look at you. We did.
Look,
Patrick
and Landon.
I'm here.
Thank you for everything. And you know what, y'all? Tip I'm gonna say tip
Please.
the DJ. You know, I was not gonna put up your thing because I know we're having technical problems. I could not have did this without Landon today. And leave it up as we talk. And just please support your local urban news station and produce your cash app at $ Hendrix Studios. He comes in, he makes sure this happens. I have not did a show, and I don't know when because I just could not. I had PTSD, and so he comes in, and it's a lot to put together. And I had said an hour and a half. My bad, Landon. Leave that up though. I'm gonna blame it. Look, I'm gonna try to blame it on the technical issues, but it wasn't. There's a lot of material. Um, and it's just a lot that's to be covered. It's a lot to be covered.
Hello,
Hey, Lydia.
Lydia.
And so it is a lot to be covered. And so if you can support him with Cash App Hendrix Studios, and then I need y'all to click like, share, subscribe, and as Sheena Beckton says, hit the notification bell.
Yes,
hit the
smash that notification bell.
Yes.
So you can always get those notifications when we go live. It's okay, Lydia. It was kind of last minute.
It was. I didn't want to do it. I had PTSD. And so when I called you, I'm like, it's too much. It's become overwhelming.
I was like, what? This is a stupid question, but what do we talk about? Like,
more like, look, where do we start? We can go where to start.
Like, what do we do? Like, do we just start from the most recent and just act like
I was like,
this is so much.
Mrs. Gilchrist, love you too. Miss Gilchrist, if I don't call her when I get out, I get told off. And she told me off one time and told me off all the way home.
Oh, Lord.
All the way home. She did.
Oh, Lord. Thank you,
so, she makes sure I'm okay. I got to talk to her all the way from the elevator down to the car to in the house. She on plat.
That's right. Shoot.
But
Listen,
when you say, like, what do we talk about? Yeah, and I do talk to you too.
Yeah, but when I get a beep of that along.
What do we talk about? It was like, I'm like, oh my God, it's so much. We got to get something out before another page turns.
Right.
And so we will be bringing, coming back. It will probably be, I got to check to see with this. So look, y'all stay tuned to my page, to our page. And, because we will be, it's a lot. And we know that that paper comes tomorrow with the budget. We know they're going to be bringing up them youth jobs. But look, they done broke the last one because we just showed y'all. We said they must be residents of the city of Flint. That was required. So thank you to 810 Xavier.
Flint.
810 Flint for his production work and what he does, because he really watches and simplify things, and I appreciate it. I truly do. And I'm going to even send a shout out to Dr. Mayor Karen Weaver for creating a platform over here, the Flint Urban News Network, where our news can be put out, and it's put out with facts. And look, since we now have a peace treaty, I'm going to send a shout out to 810 News Media Group. We got a peace treaty. So we're going to send that one out Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Check them out. So listen. Sheena,
I'm not like
we really ain't sat down to go over everything, and it's stuff in between, y'all. There is a lot.
There's so much stuff in between. There's like more stuff. There's so much more to talk about.
We can't even talk about Trump and them and Israel and all of that.
We can barely get into local stuff because so much is accumulated with Flint. I said Flint is really the city that never sleeps. That's the real city that does not sleep.
That part. Remember Dennis JWC and Burns? I want to hear y'all say, I ain't studying you.
I ain't studying you.
Look, and that's how we feel. And tomorrow's going to be interesting. So listen, take time to tell somebody that you love them. Tomorrow is not promised. Sheena and Landon, thank you for making sure we were able to get this off today. I love doing shows with you, Sheena. I do. Sheena's a millennial. I'm not trying to be, we work very well together. When you find something that works, then you keep it moving. And I appreciate you, Landon, because I know how I may send what's in my head to get it down to the screen may look like this sometimes.
You all good. You all good.
Understanding my method of madness. But I was just like, we got to do a show today because it's too much. It's too much. So listen, the mayor will have, I told you, on page 63, if he's going to veto the budget. We did not pass his budget. We want to make sure we keep basic services going. And we will have on there tomorrow, Pastor Thompson and the other, I had it wrapped up into one, the four for food services. There is on Arthur Woodson's page to donate they need a truck. We have a food high. And people, there's food insecurity. Flint has had a food insecurity for over a decade. So asking you to support St. Mark's also. So I gotta look. I think I done begged enough, y'all. So look. Oh, look. I didn't even see him on there at the bottom part. Pastor Thompson. I didn't even see him.
I have this PayPal. I need to make sure I'm so sorry. But yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I know I didn't put it up either because I need to actually organize, and he did not send the cash out. He did not.
I know I have to.
Yeah.
So
I'll talk
to you. It's so much.
It is. And maybe we can do like one, I don't know, social media. I can't. That's Sheena's expertise. You know, when you're dealing with a millennial. So she's the last original Black housewife I know. Because y'all don't exist. Educated though. Educated. Black housewife. That's what her husband said. It's your choice. But I want you here, baby, to raise our babies. Yeah. And do whatever you want to do, baby. Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate you and I appreciate everybody.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for having me.
No, as every Tuesday we will be here unless they have a brawl on Monday. We will be here, and stay tuned to our Facebook page. And I need to work on that. I need to catch up on some stuff, and so that we can share it out because we will be coming on. It's a lot of stuff to catch up on. So look, enjoy the rest of y'all evening. I'm sorry I took up your time. It is 11:11. Look, we are out of here. Landon, do what you want to do. Did you want to play your what's the name going out?
What's the best nation in the world? I take That's what make America great, man. That's okay.
What's the best nation in the world? Donation. Appreciate y'all. Much love. We are out.
Thank you, Landon. Thank y'all.